It is Talk Like a Pirate Day, and that's all I'm going to be doing for tonight. But everyone else is free to do as much as they like. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Adventure on so many levels. We're going to play some Dungeons and Dragons.
Yarr! Whole new level, folks.
Yeah. So, I am Christiana Ellis, the Dungeon Master, and the big important announcement right now is that it is Viv's birthday, and she gets to play with us tonight. Ah.
Yay!
Should we sing? We could sing.
I don't want to get you in trouble with YouTube copyright.
Nope, it's
Break
not.
the
It's
internet.
officially
It's legal
public
now.
domain now.
Well, I would love it if you sang.
Let's sing, everybody. Over Twitch and Google Hangout, we'll see if we can stay in sync and whatever. But
Sync will be perfect.
happy
birthday to
you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. I knew that would work perfectly.
Level. 100%.
I'm just so glad you guys already started drinking. That's awesome for all the rum you must have had. Thank you.
Only I could explain it with rum.
You can stop the stream now. That's it. It's done.
That's the game tonight.
That's the game.
We played the part of singers.
So,
It's my first birthday song, so thank you. Many thanks.
So, tonight our players include Viv Schubert as Amethyst. And everyone else is playing different characters this week. We'll see why as the adventure proceeds. But tonight we have Starla Hutchton playing Wolf.
Arr.
James Meltzer playing Owlbear.
Shiver me timbers.
Mark Kilfoyle playing Hare.
You can call me the Hare, or you can call me Chicago or Margaret. I got a lot of names.
Chooch Schubert playing Roadrunner.
Ho, ho, ho there.
And Jenny Meltzer playing Crocodile.
Ahoy!
So excited, you guys. Oh, God, it's going to get interesting now.
What is happening?
Yes, well, a birthday plus out of the ordinary plus Talk Like a Pirate Day. It's just gonna happen. So, last time we saw Amethyst, there was a lot going on. In particular, she had been charmed with a suggestion leading her to try to help the poor besotted high elf that had been himself charmed by the Fey Queen. She was determined to help him in any way she could, and unbeknownst to her fellow adventurers, one of the ways she determined that she could help him was by removing her non-detection charm, thus bringing the Fey Queen to all of them. As she proceeded to go to the elemental plane of Earth with everybody else, nobody knew that except her, and she was keeping it a secret because she was still charmed. But then, as everyone was hanging out and waiting to figure out what was going to happen next, suddenly strange vines and flowers began growing around her feet, and she heard voices telling her that it had all become too dangerous, and they were bringing her home to the Beastlands where she could be protected. And these vines continued to grow up and around her, defying anybody else's attempts to stop them. The charm was dispelled, and she was able to tell everybody that she had removed the non-detection charm, but then the vines continued to wrap all around her like a mummy, and then they fell limp, loose, empty, and Amethyst was gone. Bum, bum, bum. And so the heroes of legend had to proceed without her, not knowing where she had been taken. But tonight, we will be following Amethyst. And so Amethyst, as you had experienced this strange sensation of the vines growing up around you, you were somewhat surprised, and yet even once you realized that the charm on you had been dispelled, your primary concern would have been to warn your fellow party that you had removed the spell, so they might have been exposed. But for whatever reason, you didn't really feel afraid from this vines growing up around you. It felt oddly familiar. Doesn't mean you were happy about it, but it was more irritation than fear. And you find yourself having been wrapped up by all of these vines, and then feeling them loosen around you and begin to dry up and fall away, revealing an entirely different place. You find yourself now in a strange, very simple wooden structure with bare wood logs and branches woven together into walls, and a campfire in the center with smoke emerging through a big hole in the ceiling, designed for this purpose, not a damage hole, but it's a very simple wooden structure. It seems to be night outside here, and it is outside. You can hear the wind blowing through in the distance. And across from you, in this relatively large building, you see 3 humanoid figures dressed simply in animal skins. One, an elderly woman, a second, a middle-aged man, and a younger woman as well, but they all look upon you with sort of the same old soul gaze, and they're watching you as you emerge from the vines.
Well, because I'm irritated and not afraid, I'm going to just approach them and, ask them where I'm at. Hi, where am I?
They look a little bit frustrated first that that's your question, but then the young woman speaks up and says, "You're home, of course. Not that you would remember."
Well, I don't remember. Can you tell me? You recognize me, obviously. Can you tell me what you know? Because I really don't have a lot of my memory.
The older woman speaks up and says, "We know, dear. This is something that is the result of your choices, and we didn't want to interfere, but it has all become far too dangerous, and we felt that we could not in good conscience allow this experiment to continue. And so we have brought you home where you can be protected."
What do you mean experiment? I really don't understand experiment.
My dear, it would do no good to explain it to you in this state. You will simply have to reacclimatize yourselves, and then we can perform the ritual and you will remember in your own time.
That sounds great. I really, really have a lot of questions, but I also have people that I actually have my own thing that I'm doing with, and it's kind of important too. So maybe we can schedule something later and I can go back and knock out this thing, and then hopefully you'll give me all the answers But I don't really think I need protection.
The man says, "You have made yourself the target of the most powerful beings and forces in the entire multiverse. It is far too dangerous for us to allow you to continue as you were. If your friends wish to visit you, they can do so here, and we let them know that as we brought you back."
It doesn't really work for me, though. I don't like being told what to do. And I really believe in what I am already doing.
The young woman says, "The difficulty we have now, you see, is that we understand your frustration in your current state, but I don't think there's anything we could say to convince you until you have had your true self restored. But we felt that we had to make the choice, just as a parent makes decisions for a child that does not always make the child happy. We have had to make this decision for you, and we are confident that you will forgive us when you remember yourself."
You're asking me to trust you after you've brought me to a place that I don't know, and I don't know you, and to abandon everything that I do remember, and to let you reset me or whatever? I mean, that's a lot to ask somebody I just walked up to.
Yes, we know. It is something that we discussed for quite some time before coming to this decision.
Can I do an investigation or something like that to see if I can assess what kind of skills I'm facing here if I decide to fight? And
so you can do an insight check, and if you're specifically trying to get a sense of like their power level, so to speak, is that if that's kind of what you're getting at? Like, do they seem like are they fighters? Is that what you're trying to get at? None of them seem to have any weapons or armor right now.
Right. Amethyst is just trying to figure out if she has a choice, and I'm not sure what check to run for that. Like, I don't feel overpowered.
Well, I mean, you can make an insight check to try to just get a sense of like if there's anything they're not telling you or that sort of thing.
So that's 21.
Okay, that's pretty good. So you get the sense from them that they're all putting on kind of a brave face, that this is upsetting for them, and they're trying to remain calm.
And we're like out in the open, or like.
Well, you're in this simple sort of wooden building.
That's right. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So you're kind of seated in a circle around the campfire that's in the center of this, bare earth wooden building.
So I look at what is the man doing, by the way?
They're all doing the same thing. They're all just sitting cross-legged. The four of you are essentially in a circle around this campfire.
So I want to look at the older woman and make sure that she's paying attention, and
they're definitely all paying attention to you.
I just want her to know that I'm seeing her. Okay. Like she's the one I'm focusing my attention on. I'm willing to trust you, but I am going to conjure something to protect me while you do whatever you're doing. Do you have a problem with that?
Of course not, my dear. In fact, it is the resumption of your duties that we hope will bring you back to us. And participating, using your druidic magics and letting the energy of this place move through you is what we hope to accomplish by bringing you here. If you feel the need to conjure animals, you can do so.
Because I have my own questions, and because I feel like I could learn something and be stronger from you before I return to my life after I get my questions answered. Are you going to fight me if I decide that I don't care what you want for me, and that I want to leave? Are you going to fight me at that point? I'm asking you woman to woman.
We've made the decision to bring you here, but we will not fight. We will not fight you. You can leave this place and go where you will in the wilderness. We hope that you will remain in the Beastlands instead of returning to that plane of imbalance. But we think that as you remain here, you will remember why it is your home.
I'll do your thing. But know that the reason it's in such chaos is partly because of me. And I don't know who I used to be or what I used to be, but I can't walk away from that damage. So just so that you understand that. That's not going to be an easy thing for me to say and walk away from. But so
We understand, but... And she kind of hesitates there, and the man picks up the thought and says, our concern is that your current limited perspective is hampering your ability to make the best decisions in this matter. So no matter how much it may be of critical importance, we feel, if anything, to engage with this problem in your current state is not the best course of action.
Well, give me a moment to prepare, please.
Well, you have time. This is not something that will happen immediately. You will need to reacclimatize yourself to the energy around you here. This will take several days, and we suspect that the best way would be to resume your duties as a steward.
Days?
Yes.
You know that I have this big risk and you say days. Let's just get it started. I'll stay until I don't want to anymore.
The young woman smiles and says, because we understand that you will not remember this currently, your duties as a steward, as are all of ours, is to guard these lands against unnatural incursions. And we have teams of creatures that band together for this common purpose. And we have assembled one, for there is an infection of sorts in one of our primeval jungles. We believe that you traveling with this team will be a good way for you to do some good and rediscover yourself and this place.
So, who am I going with?
Our
Who
team
is this?
is waiting for you outside. And she gestures to, a door with it kind of just a blanket hanging over a door frame.
Oh, I don't remember being in jungles. At least it's somewhere new. Let's go.
All right. So, for the rest of you, wolf, owlbear, crocodile, roadrunner, hare, you are waiting outside. You have been told of a new mission, and it is common for you to assemble in times of need and be accompanied by one of the stewards, the individuals with druidic magic for this purpose. But you don't know who your steward will be in this particular mission, and it's a little strange because usually that's not something that's a secret at all. It would be the steward that would tell you about the mission. So for you to have been told of a mission and to not know who the steward is unusual. but you've been told to assemble here to meet them.
I just look at
Hey,
that road
man.
runner like I'm hungry.
Hey, man.
I am taking a nap.
So anybody know what this one's all about? We got another wayward wanderer through the woods somewhere. I ever tell you about that human kid I had to deal with? Was it a year ago, 2 years ago? I can never keep track. He says to me, hey, is it true? Is it true? And I said, no. What are you talking about? He says, you got any eggs? And I looked at him like he had two heads. I don't think he had two heads. Most of the human folks, they don't have two heads, right? But I said, no, I ain't got no eggs, but I'm going to take those carrots and we're going to call this even. And we never had this conversation. Had to keep him alive in the woods for like 3 days. Carrots are pretty good, though. Hope it's not like that, though. Those human brats are hard to deal with.
Man, Hare, you just need to chill out, man.
Chill out, man. You
It's
nuts.
gonna be... You're too jumpy, dude. It's gonna be alright.
Hey, I've been alive for a long time. A long descendant of hares, and we also...
Look, man, you woke up Wolf with all your noise.
He sleeps too much anyway.
Is he talking about that guy that took the wrong turn at Albuquerque again?
No, man. Oh, years ago. Did I tell you that story already? I didn't think I told you.
Man, you told us that story.
Oh, well, I'll tell you that again sometime if you're lucky.
Man.
I'm late over here.
You guys are a bunch of saps just lying around all the time. How can you keep moving? Wait, how do you do it? How do you stop for 2 minutes? It's not right.
You gotta stop sometimes and analyze the world, Hare. You gotta look around and see all the things all around you. You're gonna miss some stuff.
Oh, I know stuff's happening. I can see it all over the place. I know stuff's happening right now. I know what's happening with you, too. I know it. I can see it. You see that bird over there? He's watching us. I think he's suspicious.
Maybe
He doesn't
he'll
work
come over
right
here and
side.
pick my teeth.
You and your teeth all the time. I'll tell you some teeth sometime. We get into it, we'll get into it, all right? All right. I'm watching you. I see you. I see you all.
I'm just gonna reach out with my paw and put it on his head.
Hey. Don't mess
Stop.
with the ears, Wolfie. Don't mess with the ears. You remember last time you messed with my ears? I had you running for a whole day. You were running in circles. It was funny.
So all of you are having this conversation, and then emerging from this building that the humanoid races use for shelter. You see emerging from the doorway is what appears to be a human woman with white hair and violet eyes, and she looks out at you, and she looks confused. And
Lost.
Amethyst, what you see is an owl bear, a wolf, a large rabbit, a roadrunner, and an enormous giant crocodile, all gathered together like they're having a conversation. And in fact, you had heard voices on your way out the door, and as you emerge, it appears these animals were having a conversation with each other that you understood.
Would like to take a deep sniff of air in her general direction. Like an investigation. What I can pick up from her, just in general.
Make a perception check.
Let's see. I don't know where anything is. +5, okay. 16.
Okay. Yeah, just as a general thing, like since you guys are using stat blocks this week, if I call for a skill and you're not sure what it is, you're just going to be using the base stat for it. But so, Wolf, what you definitely pick up from her is you have in the past, because of your experience with these sorts of missions, gotten a kind of sixth sense for smells of other worlds, and she smells like she's from somewhere else.
Finally, someone with answers. Hello. How are you doing?
his
I'm
home.
in Tresto.
So I look at the humans. Are they still with me, or have I walked out alone?
They were staying seated around the campfire.
Okay. So I just look at them and I'm like, these guys, right?
The old woman.
This one? Are you
nods
sure?
and- the old woman nods and says, "Yes. You are to investigate a strange disease which seems to be spreading within the primeval jungle. You're to find the source of it, and if it indeed comes from some other plane, you are to eradicate it if possible and report back if not."
So I look over at the group and I start to walk over and I'm just like, thank God. I am so sick of humans. I'm so glad to see you guys. So I don't really know what's going on. I'm just really relieved to not be around any other humans right now. So I'm Amethyst.
You're not from around here, are you?
They tell me I am. My memory's not so great.
Well, in case you don't remember, you're in the jungle, baby. This is our we run by our rules. I know you're a steward and all, and you stand real tall and pretty and all that, so but just keep in mind, this is our territory. We know what's going on. You can call me the Hare, or if you're properly introduced, Chicago.
Chicago. I like that. And I have no worries. They call me a steward, but I don't really, like I said, remember anything. So I'm just kind of think of me as here to learn and help where I can. And you tell me what you need from me. So don't worry about me getting in the way. I don't understand anything that's going on, and I don't remember being in the jungle before. So
Let me introduce you to the gang. Sleepy over there, he's Wolf. She's Wolf, I can never tell. The little skinny one, that's Roadrunner. Runs real fast. Usually in the right direction. Owlbear, he's big and bad and don't get on his bad side. The Crocodile, don't get on any side of the crocodile.
got it.
You don't have another head hiding somewhere, do you, man?
Told you, man, that's only the one time.
I told you, man, the humans only got one head.
Well, it happened once. At least that's what somebody told me.
I think you were smoking some pine cones, man.
That's irrelevant.
Stay away from the pine cones, man. You don't want to smoke those.
Hey, it gets a little bit uptight sometimes. You gotta relax. They're always telling me to relax. So once in a while, find a good brush fire, take a good sniff. What's the worry? I'm fine.
So
You have to forgive him, man. It's been a while since he's had some booty.
Hey, man, I told you not to mention that mixed company. That was a private conversation. It's been a while. Though.
Yes, between you, me, him, them, and the entire rest of the Beastlands.
Yeah, I can't figure you.
It's really only probably only been about 6 hours, but for somebody like him, that's a lifetime.
He's got like
It is.
he's got like 50 kids, man. He's all
Just this week, right?
Man.
yeah,
Well,
I get
they're
it.
all born this week, but
I get it.
I gotta get around. It's a hard life, I could die at any moment. I gotta make sure there are more of us in the world, I carry on the hair line. It's a very thin hairline, receding all the time.
For someone so concerned about your family, you spend no time with them.
Hey, we're independent.
Which one?
We have to learn from a young age.
Wolf got you good.
What do you know? You sleep all the time. So what is it?
Which family?
Amy? Emma? What was your name again?
Amethyst.
Stewart. I'll call you Stewart. That's easy to remember.
That's fine.
Stuart?
Stewart, like all the rest of the stewards. They're all looking like me.
They all call him
That's
Stuart.
fair.
That's very humanist of you.
Hey, it's not my fault they look the same.
The speciesist.
So,
What,
what do we
what
got?
are we doing here, man? What's the mission?
Somebody said disease. Is that true?
I was All I was told is that there's a disease, and we are to find the source and hopefully eradicate it and report back.
Man,
Do you guys
hair.
have any information about it?
So, a bit of context. One thing the rest of you would definitely know is that your purpose as a team is not to deal with ordinary natural threats. Your purpose and the purpose of the stewards specifically is to safeguard the natural balance of these lands from unnatural external threats. And in this context, unnatural is specifically referring to like energies from, the abyss or the nine hells or something like that, as opposed to anything that could be considered natural. So, a disease wouldn't be cause for a team unless it was suspected to be from somewhere else.
So, did you bring it with you?
Let's just kill her.
Nah, hang on, man.
You can't
It's
just
patient
ask.
zero. I don't think that's the mission.
It's a steward. We work with the stewards, man. You're
Oh.
Yeah, we can't kill them.
Right, man. Right.
So at this point, I lean back and I look at the old woman again, and I'm like,
And she kind of sort of nods and just, Primeval jungle, they will know the way.
okay,
Primeval jungle. Ah, all right.
I'm sorry I don't know more.
That's all right. You guys got a lot of burden walking so tall and everything. I don't think Owlbear even stands all the time.
Hey, man, I stand just fine. In fact, if Amethyst wants, she can ride on my back.
Oh, here we go again, showing off.
I appreciate that, but I think I'll walk for a while. Thanks, Albert.
You do you.
Can I ask a quick question of the party? Various speeds. We're all gonna have different speeds, so I was looking at who amongst us is the fastest. Because I have a
for that, just so there's two levels on which we can have that conversation. I'll just let you guys know. You guys know, as experienced residents of these lands, that overland travel, like over long distances, there's a kind of magic to that you guys is utterly ordinary and mundane to you. But and it's essentially that travel to a destination as a group under the this sort of these auspices happens in a strange sort of pseudo time that doesn't seem to account for normal speeds, and it's a little strange, but you get there together is the point. And then more localized travel is you would each have your own speeds, but the point is traveling a long distance to a place as a group happens at a sort of group speed.
It's because I was thinking because we've traveled together before, and well, pack instincts kicking in. Thinking there might be a need for scouting around, keeping everybody together. Just kind of herding everybody in a direction. So I don't.
For recon, I have a 60-foot ground speed and 50-foot flying speed.
Okay. I wasn't sure if Roadrunners flew or not. So.
They do short distances.
Okay. So we have this, I have a 50 ground speed, so okay. Alright.
I can outrun you in any day, but just not today.
So,
Every day.
Amethyst, as you your eyes are kind of adjusting out here, away from the the campfire, you're just under moonlight out here, but your eyes have adjusted and you can see your guess would be that you can see kind of just the hint of dawn perhaps in the one side of the sky, but you seem to be in a sort of a clearing within a large forest.
am I expected to lead this, or is there like a lead? Like and I'm asking them. Like, I don't really know where I'm going. I'm counting on you guys to get us
Well, we can lead the way,
heading
but
in
I
the
mean,
right direction.
as a steward, it's generally, you're not really a
More-
leader. We're more of a democracy, but it's
there you
you're-
go.
They will never
Moderator.
get started if you just let them keep talking. And I'm going to start
Okay.
walking and kind of
Okay.
moving with my head.
Walk and
Wolf's
talk
got
and,
good
you know,
instincts. The land will provide. You just gotta trust it. It's the place we live.
do that.
If we find that I'm slowing us down on travel speed, then I can summon a friend to carry me along at your speed or anything like that. So just make sure that I'm keeping up with you guys and I'm not slowing you down. Cool?
It's all
I don't
good.
think it will be a problem.
Cool.
Probably no
Alright.
slower than OB, and he can carry you.
Nope. So which direction shall we head off in, guys? Have you heard anything about disease or?
That way.
I'm walking that I have left. I'm going.
Wolf's got
Moving.
the strength.
And I'm gratefully following.
Start following Wolf and just say, man, Hare knows all about diseases.
I don't like your tone, OB, but I'm gonna take that the right way.
And then I'll relieve myself and just say, that answers that question.
He's gonna get eaten by something today.
So, as you guys set out, this travel magic kicks in, and it's expected and ordinary for most of you. But Amethyst, what you find is that time seems to take on sort of an elastic quality, and it's hard to explain because on one level you're traveling great distances with these animals. You're all traveling together, and at any given moment it doesn't feel like you're moving quickly, and yet it's almost as though your own perception of time has just slowed to the point that the subjective experience of how long it's been feels like it's not long at all. You don't feel tired. You don't feel bored. It doesn't feel like it's been a long time, and yet on any moment-to-moment level, it's not. You don't seem like to be moving very fast necessarily, but you're traveling great distances at what feels like, on one hand, a normal pace. On the other hand, you are covering enormous distances. And it doesn't feel as though it's weeks and weeks. It feels as though it's hours.
Okay.
Time is a flat circle, man.
What do you even know about circles?
Hey, I
No,
dig
feathers.
circles. I dig circles. All right.
So, as you guys make your way through, you leave this particular forest, you travel over a region of plains, which becomes a more desert type of region, and then through a swamp and into a lush rainforest. And those of you listening along on tabletop audio, I'm switching to Dinotopia as the ambiance.
That doesn't sound ominous.
Yes, so it is a very lush rainforest type jungle with dense plant life, just a riot of it. And what you've felt, Amethyst, as you experience all of this is a bit like when you visited the Feywild briefly with the Lord of the Hunt. Everything here feels like it's just turned up to 11 a little bit. This is nature untouched in a way that you didn't really ever fully experience in the prime material plane, because everywhere there, even when you're a long way from a city, there's still this sense of where civilization is in respect to that. It feels like this place, there is no civilization. There's pockets here and there of loose organization, but that's it. This is wilderness. a world of wilderness. And so as you enter this jungle, it's just a riot of life, just thriving in these interconnected cycles. And you make your way in, and you're seeing birds and bugs and little scampering rodents here and there. And then you start seeing some creatures that you don't recall having ever seen before. Large avian/reptilian type creatures. Some of them quadrupedal, some on two legs, some even flying through the sky, but just enormous lizard-like creatures.
So I am still walking, still traveling, but I am paying zero attention to them, and I am agog, and I'm just like studying each and every critter that I see that I've never seen before, just in heaven.
And
so hopefully we're not stepping into anything.
Yeah. So the rest of you know that you have now, this is in fact the region known as the primeval jungle, and so in theory this is where you're supposed to be looking, and so you're kind of having arrived more or less at a destination, at least, or even a regional one. You're kind of more into a typical movement pattern here. The travel experience magic has faded here because you've arrived.
What time of day is it?
Now it is midday, and it's hot and humid.
I would like to sniff through the underbrush for some small creature that might be a snack.
Okay. Make a survival
Hungry.
check.
That is, what's the base on that one?
Wisdom.
Wisdom. Okay. 16.
Yep. After a relatively short amount of time, you manage to pounce on what seems to be sort of a lemur-like creature, and you are able to dispatch it easily.
Just a little
Is
snack.
there any water where we are?
So this is a very wet climate, and so if you're looking for a stream or a pond with a lot of water, we can make a check to find it. But there's also just like kind of water dripping off almost everything.
I kind of want to find a stream or something that I can slip into
Okay.
and cool off, and maybe find something to stalk and eat.
All right. So you can make a survival check as well, wisdom based.
12.
Folks, gotta stay focused. Stop thinking with your stomachs all the time.
Rip the head off the lemur.
So, because not everyone who watching might have all of the lived-in experience of the Beastlands that you guys do, hunting and being hunted is a normal, expected, and accepted part of the experience. And in this place, what you know is that in one lifetime you're the predator, and the next you might be the prey. It's all part of the same web of experience.
Circle of life, man.
Oh, here you go.
That's-
And
It's a delicious circle.
not all creatures have attained the sentience that you all enjoy, if that's the right word. But it's still, there's a respect for all living things, which acknowledges that some living things eat other living things. But as you are searching around for some water, you do find a river crocodile, and it is it's not overly large, but it's a good 15-20 feet across, and it's slow moving and murky.
I will slip in and become very still and just kind of look around until I see something.
Okay.
Slip
Well,
into something.
are you also looking for something to eat, or are you looking for signs of your?
Something to eat.
All right. So while Crocodile is patiently waiting to ambush something or other, are the rest of you? What are the rest of you doing?
I would, the next kind of pathway we're taking, whatever heads into this jungle area, I would run ahead to scout,
Okay.
shoot
Make
off.
make an a make a survival check of your own.
4.
4. Okay, yeah, at least right in this area, in sort of your current vicinity, you're not really seeing any indication of what you're here to investigate.
Out of the ordinary.
Crocodile, there are some big fleshy fish swimming in the river that seem like they would be pretty easy picking.
All right, I'll try to catch.
You can go ahead and make a bite attack roll.
That is a 16.
Yeah, you got it. Chomp, chomp, chomp. And I think those of you on the land nearby see a lot of thrashing around because, as previously mentioned, crocodile is not a small crocodile. Crocodile is probably 25 feet long. From the snout to
Belly
the
roll.
tail.
She got a good one.
Yep.
I'm just gonna stand there and sing under my breath. Wimble, a wimble, a wimble.
So I'm just gonna grab a good berry out of my pocket or pouch or wherever good berries come from, and I'm gonna walk over to the river that crocodile's in, and I'm gonna cast detect poison. What is it? Poison and disease, just to see if there's anything, because it's a river that hopefully I'll be able to maybe trace back if I find anything in there.
Okay. What you find as you start engaging with your magic is that the magic itself feels alive here in a way that is more intense than you're used to, and in particular, your senses of searching for something and hunting and tracking just feels easier here. And you do, in fact, detect not a lot of, nothing that would make the water like unsafe,
Right.
but you detect presence of, small amounts of some kind of a strange pollen that is definitely toxic and feels wrong. Like it doesn't belong here.
Just a pollen though. Nothing that I can identify it as beyond that. So
No,
I'm gonna.
yeah, it's just a little bit, not enough to make the water unsafe, but you detect the presence of something that sort of pings you as like that's out of place, that doesn't belong.
Yeah. So I'm gonna crocodiles underwater. Who's still nearby and able to talk? I know Roadrunner's moved ahead. So I'm gonna look at Wolf and Owlbear. No offense, Hare, you look busy.
Hey, I gotta keep busy. The thing's gotta eat me.
Fair enough. So there's this. The water's safe, but there's something that seems out of place. Have you guys noticed any strange vegetation or any plants or anything plant-based that seems out of the ordinary here?
I don't know. Do we?
I know.
You can all make a perception check if you'd all kind of like to look around for signs.
All right, and I have advantage if it relies on hearing or smell, so I'm going to sniff around for.
I got a 12.
Perception is 5. 20, not natural.
Okay. So you definitely detect something on the air, and it is coming essentially from upstream of your current location. Upstream as the river flows. And so something in that direction, it's far enough away that you can't really pinpoint it, but you have sort of a general direction where you smell something again because you have this experience with this sort of thing. You have come to be able to recognize smells that don't belong.
There is definitely something in the air that should not be here.
You stink. You just ate something. Where is it?
Hey, man.
I think he wants to go for a swim. What do you guys think?
Come on.
And I will
Bring
come
it
up.
on, big boy.
I will come up out of the
there.
water just as you say that.
Okay, let's
And
not get
splash
crazy.
all over.
We
Hey,
got a job
crocodile.
to do.
Crocodile. That water's poison, just so you know.
I'll be all right.
Crocodile will be just fine. I don't think it's in nearly dangerous levels.
And you guys are no fun.
Did the fish taste weird when I ate it? Did it taste off at all?
No.
No.
Nothing fishy about it.
Oh,
I start walking up.
It
start
was
walking
extremely
upstream.
fishy, but in a
What did I say?
It's a
Look
non-
out, come
you know.
on.
arg! More rum, please. No, I'm
the
kidding.
taste of that fish. It was specifically it was a red herring. So it tasted pretty much exactly like you would expect a red herring to taste.
Which means it's probably poison.
Oh, snapper. All right, Wolfie, you and your nose are always right. Let's head on. You first.
Are you,
I'll
so
come back to the
Where's
enemy
our
con and
feathered
say,
friend?
everything's clear. A couple hours up ahead.
Where's you go, man?
just all over. But so yeah, as if you guys are gonna travel sort of along the river, but up in the direction of upstream, you make your way in that direction for a while. Like maybe an hour and a half, just kind of trying to get a sense of if you perceive anything else. The smell is getting a little stronger, Wolf, but it's not. Again, it doesn't feel. It feels like there's perhaps something dispersing into the air as opposed to tracking a specific creature. And so you do, after a while though, you come across an area where two sort of, like a big rocky slope, it's almost like where there's been a mudslide, merges with the stream and creates sort of a big area where there's a lot of very shallow rocky water, meaning it's only a few inches deep over a big sort of wide space. And in the center of that, you see an enormous, one of these enormous reptilian creatures walking on four legs with big bony plates all along its back and spikes on its tail. And yes, it's a Stegosaurus. And it seems to be just sort of standing in the middle of this sort of watery area, but it's not drinking or anything. It's just sort of standing in the open.
So I'm very excited, clearly. And I asked, so obviously this is not a new creature for you guys. Do you guys know its name?
We don't have to mince words about it. You can call it a Stegosaurus.
I think it's Steven.
I think it's Steven, actually.
A
Stegostick.
Steven.
Wait a minute.
Steven?
You weren't smelling Steven's farts, were you? Let's be frank. I mean,
It's a Stegosaurus.
Is it blocking our way?
No, there's a big sort of open area, but it's kind of like you come across it, and it's something seems a little bit off. It's
Is
just
it
standing there in the middle in the open, not doing anything.
Is it moving at all? Like, can I tell if it's moving or if it's like
Make a
petrified
perception
or
check.
frozen? Okay. Perception.
is Steve one of the enlightened ones like us, or is he just an average guy?
It's a 12.
Only one way to find out.
Yeah, it's sort of maybe swaying a little bit, but not walking. It's not frozen or paralyzed. It just doesn't seem to be doing anything.
I will call out, "Hey, Steven, what are you doing over there?"
No response.
Busy, you guys.
Can I tell? Does it look like it came from where the rock slide was? Like it fell in some manner?
Make a perception check.
Like where it had like its trail, kind of.
Amethyst pulls a small journal out of her pocket and she starts sketching it.
12.
She's just like drawing it.
You looking at sort of some of the tracks in the mud and sort of the pattern around there, it does look like maybe it tumbled down this sort of very gentle slope, which seems a little, because it's not a steep slope, but it does look like it maybe sort of rolled down that slope a little bit and then just stood up where it ended up, and now it's just standing there.
I would like to go up the slope. Cautious because something's weird.
Suspicious.
Do we smell any blood or anything? Like
Wish
maybe
we
it
had
was
a-
injured?
Make your perception check of your own.
Perception. Is that wisdom?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, 10.
It's acting strange, but you don't see any sign of actual injury. It's just but the strangeness is that, I mean, generally wild animals don't just stand in the open and stare into space. They're doing something. This one is just standing.
Fly up on top of its back and look around.
Okay.
I'm gonna
As
saunter up there, too.
As you go to sort of land on these bony plates on its back, Roadrunner, you detect that there's sort of a weird, slightly sticky, yellowish glaze that's kind of creeping along its skin on its back. You're up on this bony plate, which doesn't seem affected, but you do see this weird sort of like grimy texture along the skin of its back.
I think this qualifies as diseased.
Man, I wish we had a cleric.
Oh, you've missed the jokes, Viv. You've missed them all the jokes.
So, Wolf, you go up that slope a little bit where this sort of mudslide was, and it is not difficult to traverse, and you get the sense that to tumble down it would require either a very clumsy sort of behavior of something falling, or something would have had to like push it, because it's not a steep slope at all. And you make your way up there, and there seem to be a lot of tracks at the top, like something was sort of just stomping around in a circle, not like a very clear delineated circle, but just sort of moving around a lot without actually going anywhere.
Can I look at can I go around and look in Steven's eyes? Like, is he conscious? Does he know what's happening? Is he there? Is he present? Is he scared or anything?
As you kind of go around and look in Steven's face, once you get really up close, you detect that there is definitely some sort of like a yellowish discharge around the eyes and the nostrils. And in fact, as you sort of pass directly into its field of vision, it had been kind of just staring blankly, but then it kind of turns to look at you, and we're rolling initiative.
Yeah.
Come on.
Is it just straight initiative, or is there
Dexterity, if you don't
dexterity?
have a specific modifier.
23.
15.
I'm deep in my studies of the form, so I got a 7.
Okay.
I'm not paying attention apparently.
Okay. So, Wolf, what'd you get?
15.
And Owlbear?
21.
1. Hare?
I'm looking at everything. Everything's moving all at once. I got a 6.
Okay, and then I got Roadrunner Crocodile.
11.
11. Okay. So, Roadrunner, you are up first, and I think from your perch up on this bony plate along its back, you definitely feel it shifting its weight as it seems to be, turning to more directly face Owlbear and sort of lining up like it might be preparing a swing with its tail.
Can I? So there's this disease stuff on its skin.
Mm-hmm.
Is there clear skin?
Not much. You definitely see now that you're kind of looking more closely. This stuff, it does seem to have sort of this weird slimy kind of stuff that's across most of its skin.
Well, why not? I'll go ahead and attack it.
Okay.
With, my talons.
Mm-hmm.
17.
17 hits.
It's a Roadrunner smite.
That's my plus 3. 18 points of damage.
18?
Mm-hmm.
All right. 7. Yeah. So you dig with your powerful talons into its back, and you get pretty deep. But you do start feeling sort of a tingling sensation around your around your talons, and I need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
19.
19 is a success, so you can feel like there's like something, that stuff on its skin doesn't feel good, but you are able to resist any more significant effect. Owlbear, this Stephen definitely, once it saw you, it seemed to be sort of priming itself and placing its feet like it's going to swing at you with its spiky tail. And then, of course, Roadrunner just tore the crap out of his back.
I don't want to hurt you, man. And I take a bite out of him with my beak.
Okay.
That's gonna be a natural 1.
Okay. Yeah. I think you end up sort of just snapping at it and just getting you get like a pinch of skin that just sloughs off of it, like with no apparent real damage in it, just leaving like a gross ugh.
All right, and then I'll use my second attack to swipe at him with my claws.
All right.
And that's going to be a 13.
A 13 misses. You find yourself striking one of the sort of the bony plates along its back.
I said I don't want to hurt you, man. And I guess we're within melee range, so
yeah.
I'll just stay there.
Okay.
Technical
this thing
point of
does.
Order, are owlbears immune to disease?
Let me see my stat block.
I'd have to roll a saving throw. That's what I'm getting
No, I'm not.
So I think, strictly speaking, the effect is upon a successful melee hit.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah. So mechanically, that's how it works. Is that you have to hit to. All right. So I did some flavor that suggested contact, but a hit is what it takes. All right. So yeah, this thing is lining up, and it's gonna swing its tail at you. And even if you're backing away a little bit, Owlbear, this thing is enormous. And it has quite a reach with its tail, and it's gonna try to swing its big spiky tail at you.
Okay.
Well, it got a crit.
Oh god.
So let's see.
Oh dear. And this is how I die.
Well, Maybe. We'll
Circle
see.
of life, Owlbear. Circle of life.
It's all a
Dang.
circle, man.
All right, there's mine. Okay, so. Ooh. Okay.
That's never a good sign.
No.
Because it rolled high on the dice too. 47 bludgeoning damage as it just wallops you with this spiked tail
All right.
and just sends you flying.
Just for that, I'm going to use one of my singular ferocity reactions and make a claw attack against it as a
Okay.
reaction.
All right,
And that's going to be a 23.
that hits.
All right. So, oh wait, now I'm going to get poisoned too. Now it's going to be a 6, 7, 9, 10, 11, 12, 15, 16, 18, 23 points of slashing damage.
Okay, you managed to deal it a pretty nasty wound along its neck, but now I need you to make a strength saving throw and a constitution saving throw.
Okay, strength saving. So strength is 19.
All right, that's a success.
And-
You are not knocked prone, even though it was hit you with a pretty severe wallop.
And Constitution is only a 10.
Okay, yeah, you find as, you know, even though you managed to get it this nasty blow as it sort of was whirling away from you to hit you with its tail, and you find you're feeling a little bit fuzzy in the head, and for the moment you are poisoned, which means you have disadvantage on attack rolls. And you currently also have disadvantage on intelligence, wisdom, and charisma saving throws.
Oof.
Intelligence, wisdom, and charisma.
Yeah, you're just
Okay.
feeling sort of like fuzzy in the head, just like
Hey,
everything's a little. What?
More than normal.
Yeah.
I can't feel my tongue.
Yeah. Okay.
How much
so-
damage? How much damage did you take? Like 40 points or
I
something?
took 47 points of damage, so I have 40 hit points left.
Owlbear's also big.
Yeah, these guys are. You're definitely realizing, Amethyst, that in addition to being intelligent and able to talk, these animals are hardier than the sort of standard variety you're used to. But nonetheless, that was a pretty substantial hit, regardless.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, you know, I could use my sentinel reaction that
Yeah,
it's within 5 feet of me, so I can get an attack as a reaction.
you can.
An attack with my beak.
Can't get poisoned twice.
18.
Okay. 18 hits.
Whole 7 points of piercing damage.
Okay. And I need another Constitution saving throw.
20.
Okay.
Wow.
That's a success. So now, as you guys are kind of all, focusing on the Stegosaurus here, you hear stomping up closest to you, Wolf, where you were kind of up at the top of the slope. You hear, and you see stepping out of the jungle is an enormous Tyrannosaurus, and you can see dripping like slobber all around its mouth is more sort of like a yellowish foam all around its mouth. And
That's what I was afraid
roars.
of.
But it uses its turn just to kind of come into this area on this turn, so no attack on this round.
Abandoned
But it's there,
stag.
and it looks like it's similarly affected by whatever this stuff is. Well, so it is your turn now, Wolf.
How far is the T-Rex from me?
I think both the T-Rex is within your walking speed. You could get up to it.
Well, I'm curious if both of these things are within 60 feet.
Yes.
All right. So as I notice the Tyrannosaurus come into view, and I see my friend, traveling companion, go down, or almost go down, take a nice walloping, I unleash a blood-curdling howl, in which
I think we need you to do the howl.
No.
It's more believable.
It's Amethyst's birthday. Do
Wait,
that.
but she already sang. She already sang.
Okay. It's not necessary.
I'll do
But
it since
so-
I took that big hit. Ow!
All right. Wolf emits this incredible piercing howl that is laced with subtle magic, and they make a saving throw. Correct?
Wisdom saving throw, but if they're poisoned, do they have disadvantage on that?
If they
I mean,
don't-
they're dripping with yellow goo, so
you know what? I'm gonna allow that. Yeah, I am actually. I'm gonna let that make sense.
DC 15, wisdom.
All right. Yeah. So the Stegosaurus gets an 11, which is going to be a failure, and then the T-Rex, wisdom not his jam either. He's not at disadvantage because he already has a -4. No, okay. Well, I'll allow that he'll still be. That's fair. Okay, so technically he got a -2.
They are both frightened for 1 minute. They repeat the saving throw at the end of each turn.
And
And
naturally, Wolf is poised up on the top of the hill with the light just behind it. Always the glory hound.
Alright. So, okay, yeah. So both of those dinosaurs seem to hear this sound and then suddenly have slightly, they are frightened of Wolf and they're trembling a little bit. Crocodile.
I am going to make a bite attack and attempt to grapple Steven.
Okay.
That is a 26.
Okay, that hits.
So he takes 3d10 plus 5. Maybe. Okay, so that is 16.
Okay.
And he grappled.
So, first, I need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
That is a 19.
That's a success. So you are able to resist this poison. But then you see that this Stegosaurus's own sort of natural defense instincts kick in, and with you attached to it, it proceeds to sort of lay down on its side and roll over on top of you. And so you're going to take... you're going to take 20 bludgeoning damage as it rolls over the top of you, and I need you to make a strength saving throw to try to maintain the grapple.
it's like Jurassic mud wrestling at this point.
Yeah.
21.
21, yeah. Okay, so you are still holding it grappled, but you can also taste just this nasty slime that's all over this thing's skin. And you do get the sense that it could roll over onto you again if you stay grappled on it, but only once per round. Okay, so Amethyst, you're up.
So I'm going to cast Conjure Animals and 2 Giant Eagles. Please, DM.
Yeah. It's easier when I'm not using a map. I don't have that.
Right?
Yeah.
Poof, there are now 2
400
giant
wheels
Yep.
appear.
All right, so I think you need to roll initiative for the giant eagles.
Just one initiative, though, right?
Yes.
So that's 11, and you said add dexterity to that?
Yes.
So that would be 14.
Okay. Okay. So, as you speak these words, you get the sense, as you conjure these giant eagles into existence, Amethyst, that they actually seem. Once again, your spell feels empowered, and those giant eagles have an extra 10 hit points each.
Okay.
compared to the regular stats. Are you
Sweet.
moving or anything, or are you staying where you are?
Where is Owlbear at this point? And
Owlbear was still pretty much right near the Stegosaurus, having
Okay.
taken this big hit, but not knocked off his feet.
okay, I wanna move closer to Owlbear to try and do a heal on my next turn.
Okay.
Surprise!
Okay. Okay, Hare, you're up.
All right. They're all busy with Steven over there. So, hey, Terry, let's dance. Why don't you pick on someone your own size, huh? Why don't you? So I'm going to go over to the T-Rex.
Okay.
And I'm going to proceed, hopefully, to catch its attention. Catch its eye, at least. And let's see. What do I want to do?
Are you near Wolf? Because the T-Rex is currently frightened of Wolf. So depending on what you might be planning to
I'm not
do.
right next to Wolf, but I'm in the same area.
Okay.
It wouldn't be that far away.
All right.
Kind of Wolf behind me. I'm counting on Wolf as backup, honestly.
All right.
And let's see. What do I want to do? I'm going to use the dodge action.
Okay.
And I'm going to use my bonus to dash to run around it.
Okay. To
Hopefully keep it busy while the rest of them...
distract it and keep its attention.
Absolutely.
All right.
Calling it all kinds of names, but primarily Terry.
Okay. So we're back at the top of initiative. So Roadrunner, you are up again.
All right. I'm guessing when it fell over, I just kind of
Yeah,
flapped.
you probably just kind of took off and landed nearby.
So I'm just gonna do 2 attacks. I mean, clearly still fighting. If we could just leave the other one. 17 plus a bunch.
Yeah, that hits.
18 points.
Okay.
And my saving throw is 18.
All right. It's so you're successful with the poison again, and this thing is very wounded at this point. It can't take much more.
I actually have 2 attacks. I didn't do them last time because I got the poison.
Okay.
But I can do a talon and a beak.
All right.
Multi-attack. Which is 16. No, 17.
17 does hit.
Alright. This one is plus 3. 6, 7, 8 points.
All right. It's not completely down yet, but it's extremely wounded at this point. It's sort of belly and neck exposed after rolling over onto Crocodile. So did you make another saving throw for the poison for that second
I did
hit?
not.
Yep.
Ooh, 3.
3. Okay, yeah. So now, after kind of repeated exposure, it's starting to work on you, and you're just feeling kind of fuzzy-headed. Okay. It makes it Owlbear, your turn next.
Oh, and then I'll run out of range because.
Okay. Yep.
Yeah.
Steven, man, it didn't have to be like this. And then I'll just swipe at him. I'll try and bite him and swipe at him.
Attacks at
With
disadvantage.
Yeah, disadvantage. So with disadvantage, a 19 on the bite attack.
That
Actually, that wouldn't it balance out because any attack rolls against it have advantage because it's grappled.
That's only with restrained, not just grappled.
Well,
Actually,
it says that they're restrained if I grapple it until
your
it ends.
grapple said, yeah, okay. So if your grapple says restrained, then yes. So it's a regular roll, but 19 would have hit
frightened.
anyway. So
Okay.
yeah,
19 hits.
frightened.
So
I
that's
think doesn't give you an advantage on attacks against it. It has its own.
Oh, it's attack at disadvantage. Yeah.
But in any event, that's still going to hit. So go ahead and roll your damage for that first attack.
That's 15.
That does it. You are able to put poor Steven out of his misery.
I'll just shed a tear. I didn't want to do this, Steven. And then I will. I'm gonna stay where I am, but I'm gonna hold my second attack if T-Rex comes within range of me, which I know he probably won't because he's frightened of wolf. So I'll just let it go.
All right.
Maybe if we leave that one, it'll just eat it.
Mhm.
All right. So, on that note, it is now the T-Rex's turn, and as you guys are kind of all turning your attention to it, you see that although it does have the sort of yellow foam like dripping out of its jaws, it doesn't seem to have the same stuff all over its skin that the Stegosaurus did. But it kind of makes a couple of wet-sounding coughs, and then leans down and roars at Wolf and Hare, and as it does, this cloud of yellow pollen just sprays out and spatters all over all of you, and over Wolf and Hare specifically, and I need the two of you to make a Constitution saving throw.
Yeah.
Did I have to make a Constitution save at the end of my turn?
Oh, yeah, you should have, yeah.
Yeah.
There's no.
I failed
That's a
it.
6.
Okay.
Uh,
And then, so
Oh.
what was it?
18.
It was only a 7. I failed.
Okay, yeah, so you're still poisoned, so there's no new effect. But okay, so Hare, you are able to resist and kind of hold your breath at the last minute. But Wolf, I think you are surprised enough by it that you inhale a little bit of this, and all of a sudden, all you want,
Hairball.
the only thing that you can think of is getting as close to this thing as possible. That's like you can't, like, that's all that's in your head. The only thought you have is that you just have to go to this thing, this
It's
T-Rex.
so pretty.
Told you not to inhale, man.
And then it is going to try to make a couple of attacks against you, Hare, at disadvantage because you're dodging. Rolled pretty high, so that's still a 23 with the bite.
Ah, damn it. Terry, you got some terrible breath.
Ooh, okay. That's 32 piercing damage. And it currently has you grappled in its jaws. And with you grappled in its jaws, it's going to try to swing its tail at Wolf.
Even frightened of me?
At disadvantage.
At disadvantage? Oh,
At
okay.
disadvantage because it's frightened. But it has a reach for that, so it's going to make it... Oh, roll the same thing both times. That's a 22 to hit. So...
Yep.
Funny, the giant T-Rex is a threat.
Imagine that.
Okay, that's 22 bludgeoning damage. As this thing's sort of slobbering all over and flailing out at you. Okay, Wolf, it is your turn, and right now, all that's in your head is you just have to just walk right up to this thing.
Taking damage doesn't like snap me out of it. Nothing. Okay.
He doesn't have to spend his movement trying to get away from Wolf.
There's different kinds of fear. That one creates the frightened condition. He could
Gotcha.
not voluntarily come closer, but Wolf can come closer.
Okay.
But yeah, so you basically use your movement to just kind of saunter right up to this thing. And then at the end of your turn, you can repeat the saving throw. So it's another Constitution saving throw.
Well, I can't do anything else, so. Oh, that's like a 4.
I think, Hare, what you recognize you recognize right away that Wolf has a glazed look in her eye, and she just completely not like guarded at all has just sauntered right up to this thing. And you notice that even from your position trapped in this thing's jaws.
Snap out of it, Wolf.
Man, we could use a cleric.
What I've been saying.
Amethyst, it is now your eagle's turn.
My eagle's turn. Okay,
Yeah.
so Eagle 1, Thorindor, is going to go for. You like that?
Yeah.
It's going to go for the T-Rex's eyes using
Okay.
multi-attack
Yep.
because I'm seeing the draw and I don't like it. So let's see. So okay, so beak is an 8, so obviously that misses. Talons 15.
That hits.
Oh, cool. Okay, so. Sorry, math is hard. 7 points of damage.
Okay. Yeah, it definitely manages to streak its claws against the the face of this thing. It's not blinded or anything, but
Right.
it does some damage for sure. All right, so that's eagle number 1.
Eagle number 2 is Don Henley, and Don's going to do the same thing. Oh my God. So that's a 7 on beak. What the hell, Don Henley?
Hasn't had a hit for a
And a
while.
17 on talons.
17 hits.
2D.
I got that, Mark. Don't worry.
Okay, good.
I didn't hear it. What was it?
So the Don Henley hasn't had a hit for a while.
It really hasn't.
What's the war cry on that?
What's that song? I can't think of it. Boys of Summer. For 9 points of damage.
Oh.
How does that song
Okay.
even go? I just barely remember the
You can do
title.
something like "Welcome to the Hotel California, bitch."
Oh, right, Hotel California. See, it was going to be Don Henley and Steve Walsh, but we already had a Steve.
All right, so Crocodile, you're up. You notice up this slope a little bit. This giant T-Rex has hair in its mouth, and Wolf is just standing there like a dope right in front of it.
Is he within? Can I get to him?
Yeah, I think it'll take your full movement to get there, but you can.
All right, I will charge in there and do a bite attack and attempt to grapple the T-Rex.
All right,
That is 21.
that hits.
Awesome.
And that is 31 points.
All right. That is a pretty substantial hit, and you have got it restrained within your jaws.
Nice.
That's a cool picture.
Your giant crocodile jaws wrapped around its big old, turkey drumstick leg. Okay.
Sounds like something out of a sci-fi movie. Like,
I'm so happy.
All right. So, Amethyst, it's your turn now.
So I would. Oh, right. It's my turn as Amethyst. Forgot about that. I'm gonna cast a heal on. How much hair is in the mouth of the T-Rex? So I doubt I can reach it, but I'm gonna cast a heal on. Ooh, what's that?
Good question.
No, I'm gonna.
Prehistoric
Yeah,
squirrel.
I'm gonna cast Cure Wounds. At a second level, at a 3rd level on owlbear. Sorry. So that's 8. Where's the 8? 8, 2, 3. Oh man, 10 plus. So 18.
Thank you. You're my favorite cleric.
Do I have to do a Constitution?
No, this one doesn't. The T-Rex doesn't seem to have the same stuff on its skin.
Okay.
But so as Amethyst, as you cure owlbear some, are you using your movement for anything? You're still probably like 40, 50 feet away from the T-Rex right now.
Let me move closer to where the T-Rex is, since that's where Hair is.
Yep.
I mean, 17 isn't that much, but many points. But let me move over that way.
All right. Hare, it is your turn now. You are currently grappled in this thing's jaws.
Oh, I can feel my ancestors calling, Terry, but it ain't time yet. It ain't time yet. You mess with the wrong one. You mess with the... Oh, that really hurts. I'm going to kick him.
Are you going to do that? So you are technically restrained in its jaws, I should have said. It's very similar to the crocodile's thing.
Okay,
You can attempt to break the grapple, or you can attack with disadvantage.
I'm pretty much at disadvantage for breaking the grapple anyway, so I might as well kick with anything.
Yeah. With grapple, you could use it. You could do acrobatics to break the grapple, which would be dex. I mean, up to you if you want to attack instead.
I'll give it a try. I can see if I can get out of this. I'll basically be propping up one big paw right up against this friggin' patella and trying to push open the damn jaws. I might just be shoving myself down its own gullet.
Are you trying to break? You're trying to break.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to break it free.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, I should have kicked him.
All right.
I get an 8.
Oh yeah, that's not enough. Unfortunately, you are being covered with slimy yellow slobber in its mouth.
Yeah.
And I think.
Ow.
Yeah. All right, that is Hare's turn. Roadrunner, you're up.
Dart in and attack again. Yo. Which is 25.
Okay.
I'm just going to do the attacks. That is 16.
Okay, 16 hits. Or no, I'm sorry. You said 25 was the attack
25
and then 16
and then
damage?
16.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
Not damage, sorry. Those were the 2 attacks.
Oh, okay. Both of those hit.
Nope. They both hit. Cool.
Yeah.
The first one does 18 points.
All right.
And the second one does 8 points.
Okay.
26 total. Right. Dart back out.
Okay. Yeah, it's yeah. You managed to do some significant damage to its ankle, the one that's not in Crocodile's mouth, and it's definitely it's taken a fair amount of damage. This thing's definitely taken some punishment so far. Okay, Owlbear, you're up.
Can I get within the range of Terry?
Yeah.
All right, so I'll run up and just look up at him and be like, Harry, and try and bite him with my beak and swipe him with my claw.
Okay.
All right. So that first attack, disadvantage because I'm still poisoned.
Yeah.
So 19 with disadvantage.
19 does hit.
Okay.
Just as a reminder, Chooch, you were supposed to be poisoned too for that last one. I'll go ahead and leave the attacks because I don't want to re-roll, but they should have been at disadvantage unless you rolled at disadvantage, would be great. But...
It was a disadvantage.
Oh, perfect. Well, no problem then. Okay.
All right, so that's 15 damage for the beak attack.
All right.
And then the claw attack at disadvantage is also a 19.
All right.
So that one.
So this thing's got a little life left in it still, but it's its turn now. And what it actually is...
Oh, I did my claw attack too.
Okay.
Yeah.
You did. You said both of them, right?
Oh yeah, I didn't give the damage for my claw attack.
Oh, okay. Yet. I think your second attack. I assumed you were saying the damage. So 19 hits, and what's the damage?
25.
Okay. All right. So it's its turn now, and surrounded by all of you at this point, it's going to spit out hair. And then it kind of takes a step back, and it's going to breathe another cloud of pollen, and you're all in it this time.
Oh, right. Yeah, the pollen.
Yeah.
Do I have to roll again since I'm already affected?
You are... you're going to make another saving throw to get away on your turn, essentially. So you're not making one now, but everyone else is making one.
So what save is it?
Constitution.
20, not natural.
Okay.
9.
8.
Okay. And then, so crocodile resists. Did we get yours, Amethyst?
15. Sorry.
15 is a success.
Oh, good.
What was yours, Roadrunner? While you're chewing it. But basically, if you got 12 or higher, then that's a success. If not, again, like with Wolf, you just find yourself nothing, like the world is too complicated to pay attention to, but you just need to get closer to the T-Rex. That's what you have to do.
Take it back.
18.
I forgot to roll for the Eagles, but they rolled a 15 and 17.
Okay. So they were good too then. Okay. So that's the T-Rex's turn. And now it's going to try to break free from Crocodile's grapple. So it's rolling. It's a relatively low roll, but it still gets a 14. Is that enough?
No, 16.
Okay, so it's trying to pull away from the crocodile's grapple, but not able to. Okay. Wolf, it is your turn, and you are still sort of surrounded by all your friends now. But you can make another saving throw to try to resist this poison.
You said it was Constitution?
Yeah.
18 that time.
You shake it off, and all of a sudden you're like, wait, what? What are you doing? Oh my god! Because right now you're at the feet of this enormous thing, and all of, you're basically getting trampled, surrounded on all sides by all this. And also you see Hare looking dazed, kind of next to you on the ground, bleeding. But that's the end of your turn. So it is the eagle's turn again.
So they're going to repeat, and Thorndor is going to do beak for 18.
That hits.
And the damage on that was for beak. Got him. 9 points of damage. Talon attack is a not natural 20.
Nice.
And that's 13 points of damage.
Okay. This thing is very hurt now. It's really reeling now.
So Don Henley's gonna swoop in and do his beak attack for 13.
13 hits.
Oh, 13 hits for 9 points of damage.
And Don Henley kills the T-Rex. So
Terry!
how does that happen? As Don Henley
So that-
swoops in?
Just swoops in and goes for the eyes.
All right. And as the T-Rex is suddenly completely blinded, wounded, woozy, sick, it reels and topples. And let's get Wolf and Hare and Crocodile to make a dexterity saving throw.
Fingers crossed. I believe in you.
Oh, 24.
13.
Oh, am I poisoned? Is that no? That's good.
Yeah, I think you are poisoned. So sorry, Hare. I think you automatically failed this one. I didn't think about it, but it's a good point.
But I don't automatically fail. I just have a disadvantage, or do I automatically fail?
What was yours, Wolf?
13.
Okay, that's a success. Make another one to see if you can grab Hare out of the way.
Oh, that was better. That was a 19.
Okay, so I think not only were you successful yourself, Wolf, but you spotted Hare not moving to get out of the way, which seemed weird, and so you grabbed him. So I think, Hare, you kind of come to being held up by the scruff of your neck by Wolf.
Hey, put me down. Put me down.
I will spit him out and kind of lick my chops.
Mine was a 9.
So, over the course of the next minute or so, Roadrunner and Owlbear, you find that poisoned effect from the Stegosaurus wearing off.
Yeah.
Did I take damage? Because I only had a 9.
Oh, okay,
And I
yeah,
get
I'm sorry.
eight.
Yeah, in that case, you take 9 bludgeoning damage as it falls on top of you. I think with your strength, you're probably able to, wriggle out from underneath afterwards, since it's just dead weight, but it did fall on top of you.
While it was in my mouth.
Yeah. And it's kind of like both of them kind of did that to you. Like you had them grappled in your mouth, and then they just sort of roll over on top of you.
Wasn't there a joke earlier about crocodile rolling over in the water?
Payback is a bitch, man.
All right, that
So
was
how is everybody?
awful. My ancestors are calling to me. I'm not quite ready to go yet. But,
I'm sorry, that was
Delicious.
Great, let's go.
man, wait a minute here. Can we?
Look at all the blood on hair, man. Give him some healing.
Come
So,
on! I took
you
off
can
the big thing and everything.
I can either like make a safe place for us to rest, or I can cast Cure Wounds on hair. I don't know where everybody else's health is at this point. It seems like everybody but me took damage.
I don't think I did. Oh wait, I did. Never mind.
Took 22.
Took 22. How much
I'm
are
down
the good
like
berries are just
39
worth
points.
1, right?
Yeah, they're just more like a food and water like sustenance thing.
Or to
And, like,
wake
one
someone up
hit
from
point.
unconsciousness.
Yeah, and I think it's 1 hit point.
Yeah.
I'm down like 39 points.
Oof.
I
But
mean,
I have 111.
Resting.
Short rest.
A short rest isn't a bad idea, guys.
We
Yeah,
gotta
you
talk
get
about
that
this.
taste out of my mouth.
Yeah, we gotta figure out what's going on here. So why don't we just take a short rest and just chill?
So why don't one of you guys figure out a safe place for us, and I'll prepare it for us, so that we can take a rest.
So
I'm
what,
assuming
what kind
somebody
of place
gets
are
it.
they looking for?
So I'm gonna cast Druid Grove. It lasts longer than we've needed, but I really have always wanted to do it. And the components are fine. It's not crazy. Invoke the spirits of nature to protect an area outdoors or underground. The area can be as small as a 30-foot cube or as large as a 90-foot cube. The spell creates the following effects. You cast the spell, can specify creatures as friends who are immune to the effects, which I would do for, of course, everybody in the Eagles. And the warded area radiates magic, and a dispel magic cast would only remove 1 of the effects. And the options include a solid fog. Let's see, it reaches 10 feet high, and in addition, every foot of movement costs 2 extra feet, so it's got the slowing effect. It's also got a grasping undergrowth for anything to get in,
That's
like
an
a
elaborate
find
spell.
entangle spell.
Yeah,
It is. I
so
know.
Essentially, what's happening, everybody, is that she's creating this area that for everyone except you guys has this completely obscuring fog and undergrowth filled with vines that will try to grab around people, and then 4 trees sort of stomp out of their original positions and then sort of take up sentinel positions to guard the area.
Yep.
Holy moly.
I am going
You feel
to roll
very
2 my hit
protected and
dice.
safe within there, and it's a fine place to take a short rest. So you can do that and roll your hit dice as needed.
What hit dice do I have?
Yeah.
You should all have 11.
Yeah, 11d10 plus 10 is what I've got.
Yeah, so that by your hit points total, it'll say, like 11,
Oh, okay.
whatever. Those are your hit
D12.
dice. So the plus 10 is kind of a stat block thing. So you don't add that. You just do the you can roll the hit die and then add your Constitution modifier.
Okay.
But I think most of you don't. I don't know. I don't remember what I gave Constitution to everybody. But,
+2.
I spent 3 hit dice and I'm back up to full health.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, me too. I spent 2.
yeah.
Nice.
I spent 3
Sweet.
and 3. 6.
Did we do a long rest or a short rest?
Short.
Because it last. Okay.
Sure.
I would ask if we could do a long rest because that resets my spells. 3 hours doesn't do anything, and I've cast some of my heavier ones. Anybody mind if we stay a little longer? This is gonna last far longer than we needed anyways, this little grove.
Do we really have?
It'll actually
like,
last
8
24 hours.
Right.
I mean, I could take a nap.
Come on, Albert, bro, please.
I mean, whatever.
Thanks,
That's cool.
bro.
Whatever. It's all good. I don't know if Hare can sit still for that long, but he can try.
I am going to put a paw over Hare there and like kind of curl up like it's a teddy bear.
I'm going to tolerate this for now, only because you kind of won.
If I had known we were taking a long rest, I wouldn't have spent my hit dice.
You know,
Same.
you get them back if you take a long rest.
Yeah,
That's true.
That's
true.
true.
You get half your back.
That's true.
Yeah. Yeah, up to half. So
Sure.
you would each get up to 5 hit dice back if you used that many.
We got to sit and think anyway, and whatever's stewing out there is probably going to come back tomorrow. With all these trees around, that's pretty good. So I guess
Maybe we should talk about this, whatever this is. I mean, it
Yeah.
just poisoned us, but are we going to get long-term effects from that? Are we going to get sick later?
It tastes
I like
bad. I will never forget that taste.
Can I? Can I like? I don't know if we're within the if they're within the little druid circle thing here, but can I like inspect the T-Rex, like the yellowish goop on it?
Yeah.
The-
So I'm what I'll rule is that you formed the grove. Well, okay, here's the question. I mean, you can have it be as large as a 90-foot cube, where so the grove could have encompassed one or the other of the bodies of these dinosaurs you killed if you want it to be in there with you. But you can choose. But I mean, you can come and go
Move
from
in
the
and out,
grove
yeah.
if you want.
Yeah.
So you can have that area not have the dinosaurs in it, and then leave it to go look at them and then come back in. So
Yeah, whichever works.
It'd be
Who's
kind of
got-
gross to have them laying around in here with us.
Do what?
Have them laying around in there with us? That'd be gross.
Who's got some nice sharp claws might take a swipe at the belly, see what it was coming out of its mouth.
I do.
I'd like to do a medicine check on it. On one on.
Oh, good call.
So that is
you
a
can add
16.
an extra 2 to it.
Oh,
You know,
18.
again, just enhanced.
Right,
This is on the
18.
T-Rex.
Yes.
Yeah, so what you definitely can tell immediately is both from its, exhaling the cloud of this weird pollen-like, spores and all of the drool, you'd guess that it seems like some sort of a lung infection generally. But you also saw that on the Stegosaurus, it was more like a skin infection. So it's worth noting and observing that it didn't seem to react to the two creatures in an identical way.
Okay.
But there is definitely a similar quality to the slime that was on the skin of the Stegosaurus and the stuff that was in the lungs of the T-Rex.
So I'm gonna share that with them, and how are you guys feeling now? Does anybody feel any more effects from the pollen or whatever it was that we breathed in? Do we need to do a roll?
I think just from your sort of like your own self-assessment, you feel back to normal.
Got a little itch in my nose, but I think I'm gonna smell.
Okay.
Now they ain't exactly the smartest Smartest dogs in the block, as they say. You know, someone said that to me once. I don't know what it means. Maybe they ate something, you think? Maybe they drank something. You said the water wasn't so bad, eh, Crocodile?
Tasted all right to me.
Can you actually taste things or you just eat things? I always wondered.
Oh, you know. Sometimes they just hit my mouth, and I hold them there until they're good and dead, and then I swallow them. So I gotta taste it while it's sitting in there. Tasted all right to me.
Crocodile may not be the best judge.
So, I know we don't have a map, but can we see the area where the dinosaurs appear to have come from? You said they seemed like they were up above and rolled down or something like that?
So yeah, basically where you had your battle was there's the river, and then there was an area which had perhaps a smaller stream that was once separate, but there was sort of a mudslide area, so that stream is now sort of spreads out over a big area as it makes its way down to the river. And there's sort of a gentle slope there, and that's kind of where you guys were fighting. But without too much difficulty, you can find sort of the tracks of the T-Rex as it was stomping through the jungle. You feel like it wouldn't be too hard to, follow that trail.
Okay. So, I'm gonna guess that we're rested up. Was there anything else that we needed to do before we can move on? Everybody's good?
I mean, if you guys were taking a long rest in there, then you could go ahead and sleep. You did sort of, travel a long ways, even if it sort of subjectively felt quick. So, you could go ahead and just have, get your long rest in.
So how do you guys feel about that if we kind of backtrack the way the T-Rex came from and see if we can find the source of what infected them?
Sure didn't seem like Steven was going anywhere anytime soon, so Harry was probably the one that was moving.
I think it's a good idea. We gotta find it so we can stop other creatures from catching it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
There are more Terrys than Stevens out here, too, by the way.
Yeah.
It's a pretty common name.
They're not very smart. I mean, they just know what to come when you call them.
Just don't call them late for dinner.
So your giant eagles, Amethyst, would have returned to the, from whence they came.
He was over there.
Thanks, guys.
So I imagine you said it just like that.
Pretty much.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Don Henley somehow air guitaring with claws.
You are all able to get your long rest, and although many of you are very used to sleeping out of doors in the wilderness, you are notably undisturbed and able to have a very sort of peaceful sleep because you just feel very safe and protected in this area.
You're not so bad as a steward after all. Congratulations.
Thanks. I appreciate it, Hare.
You can call me Chicago. But just you.
Thanks,
So,
Chicago.
After you guys finish your long rest, it's actually it's very late night right now, meaning it's you're maybe a couple of hours from dawn right now as you finish your long rest.
Okay. I just have to give a nod to Starla, who just quoted in private chat. So anybody that's watching and is wondering why some of us just lost our shit, it's Starla's fault. Would you like to, Starla, or shall I?
I said the Eagles, they went back to standing on a corner in Winslow, Arizona.
I take a bite out of wolf fight.
Oh God, I'm crying again. So bad.
Okay, so it's almost dawn.
So you guys decide to try to follow, the T-Rex's trail back to wherever it came from, correct?
Yes.
All right. So, Wolf, you are definitely noticing as you make your way, following this trail, that off smell, which was dramatic when you were inspecting like that yellow pollen stuff. It was definitely like that's what you're smelling, and you're smelling it more intensely in the air as you are following this trail, giving you kind of the indication that maybe you're on the right track.
It's this way, definitely.
And so as you guys make your way, following it back, it kind of weaves back and forth in sort of an aimless, like it's not a straight line. The T-Rex was perhaps not in its normal faculties, but you are able to follow it well enough because it leaves great big footprints, and eventually you realize, and make the audience a little quieter here. The sounds of the jungle are getting quieter and quieter. Just the normal sorts of birds and bugs and animal noises that you normally hear in the jungle are getting quieter, like something has either scared them away or silenced them in some other means.
You guys hear that? Nah,
No.
me neither.
Maybe we should walk a little quieter, man.
Yeah. I'm gonna try to hide and stealth along.
You're gonna hide and
Stealth along.
okay. Go ahead and make a stealth check.
Well, I'm going to cast Pass Without a Trace as well to kind of add to that.
All right. So you guys can all
Stealthing
make a
mode
stealth
on.
check with +10 from Pass Without Trace. And Amethyst, you're definitely, like, the longer you've spent here, you're definitely getting a sort of an increased feel for just the natural energy of this place. You know, whenever you tap into your druidic magic, you're just feeling the nature all around you, and you're definitely getting a sense as you move closer to this, like it feels sick, like the very land itself is infected with something.
It's a 31 for me.
27.
26.
31.
22.
It's all pretty good.
23.
Okay. So yeah, you guys are being super stealthy as you make your way through, and you're starting to see here and there. Who's kind of leading the way? I mean, Wolf was sort of smelling, but are you kind of leading the
Yeah.
tracking?
I'll take point.
Okay. Go ahead and make a perception check with advantage since everyone's kind of helping.
It's 19 plus 5, so 24.
Okay. Yeah, as you guys are getting further along, you're starting to notice that the plant life is changing somewhat, and you're seeing more and more examples of some kind of a creeper vine with these yellow flowers having grown up around and choked out other plant life like trees and other bushes and stuff, that this sort of vine has, curled up around other plants and killed them, apparently. And there's more and more of those as you're going on.
This isn't a vine that we've ever seen here before.
Make a nature check.
What is nature? Is it wisdom?
Wisdom, yeah.
Okay, 15.
15. Yeah, you've never seen it before, and you're seeing, like, the idea of one plant killing another plant is obviously not something unusual, really. But at the same time, it seems like it's probably not a coincidence, and you definitely don't recognize it.
Does it seem like it's getting thicker as we go deeper in?
Yes.
They're
I
all
mean,
coming from
once
somewhere.
Wolf kind of points it out, you start seeing it everywhere.
Are they? Is there a source to them, or are they just sort of creeping up? Like they're not like grouped together. They're not coming from one source. Like the vines aren't leading towards something.
Make an investigation check, which is
Investigation,
intelligence.
So that's pretty good. 18.
They're all coming out of the ground, but as you take a couple and you sort of gently like dig up the stems a little bit, first of all, you kind of notice just, you're being careful, but you start feeling a little bit of that same tingle just kind of from being near this thing. And you discover, digging up the roots of several different ones, like in an area, they do all seem to have some central root structure that is leading in approximately the same direction, which happens to be the direction you're going.
Oh my God!
So they're maybe not actually even all separate plants. They
We're
might
gonna
all
have to
just be.
cut it off at the carrot.
That's. I guess we
Stuart.
should.
Yeah.
You didn't come from here, right? You came from outside of this place. Have you ever seen anything like this before?
No, I really haven't. So I think we just need to keep following it. We need to just keep
Make a nature
from-
check with advantage, Amethyst.
19.
You're feeling just sort of.
I'm sorry, 21.
Okay.
The +2.
Yeah. You're feeling a sort of vague intuition, like you're not even sure how you know this. Like you don't know how you know it, but what you know is that the off feeling of these things actually feels similar in energy, surprisingly enough, to when you fought that giant demon lord in what town was that? Was that Gorn?
Oh my God.
Um,
The Demon Lord.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So, I'd like to do a religion check then. I don't know if that's exactly appropriate, but I just am trying to see if it's a nature thing or a religion thing, if it reminds me of the Demon Lord.
I think the 19 that you got with nature is kind of like, that's really all you can, that's the most you're going to be able to get from that. And again, like I said, is you don't even really understand how you know that. It's just an instinct.
So I share that I've in my travels I've had to encounter and fight with a demon lord, and that there's something that's familiar about it, but it doesn't feel like the same thing. It just feels familiar to that.
Well, that's great. That means you know what this thing is, sorta. It means you kind of fought it before, sorta.
Sure, let's go with that.
I think what the
I like
rest
that
of
point of
you
view.
would know is that one of the other planes that's especially dangerous, if it were to ever encroach on another, the abyss, which is where demons come from, is certainly one of the other places that does constantly try to encourage, have incursions elsewhere.
Got it. So it's demon, not devil. It's not religious based at all. It's a planar thing. I'm asking just for myself, Christiana.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, whatever this thing is, man, we gotta stop it. So I say we just keep going until we find it, and then we kill it.
Works for me.
Sounds about right.
Do you have any protections against poisons or anything you might assist us with?
Or teeth.
I do have a protection from poison. It is per target though, however. So it can protect someone, but it's better to wait, unfortunately, until you're poisoned so I can neutralize it, because I can't do everyone every hour until we find what we're trying to fight, unfortunately. But I do have that at the ready.
Are there? I mean, knowing that we were poisoned and things like that, are there any plants around that we might be able to eat or form into some kind of tea that would protect us from poison?
Can I roll for that, Christiana?
Yeah, you can make either nature or medicine, whichever would be higher if they're different. But I think to have something nearby that would have that effect is good, is a pretty high.
Man, what I wouldn't do
So
for a
with
bird
mod,
falling
I
apart to
rolled
the
a 20.
corn right
I
now.
did roll a 20 with the mod.
Yeah.
Yeah, with medicine.
I think that you guys find enough of there's sort of a um, it's a plant that you feel like if you divide it amongst all of you, you might get like a +2 to Constitution saving throws against poison.
So I'd like to make that happen.
Kind of wrinkle my nose as I chew up leaves because, ew.
Good for you. You'll have make some glass in that coat of yours.
This will help, but we still need to be really wary and careful.
So as you guys have been following this trail, you actually do spot ahead uh, a place where the jungle kind of opens up a little bit, and there's sort of um, a big pond that's maybe 30, 40 feet across, and the water looks very murky. And around the bank of it, about 3/4 of the perimeter of this pond seems to have a dense kind of distribution of this vine with the yellow flowers you've seen that is running right along the perimeter of this pond. Like I said, about covering about 3/4 of the outside of the pond, and then sinking in and spreading out from there. So you've kind of just seen this from a distance as you are coming out of the where the jungle breaks.
What do you think, Hare?
It stinks, but that's probably where we gotta go.
Roadrunner, do you want to take a look up above?
Yeah, see if you can see anything moving under the water.
Certainly.
You fly up around and make a perception check for me. Wisdom. You don't have a special skill.
14.
14. Okay, yeah. You don't see anything under the water, but you do see that in the underbrush on the far side of the pond, you see some small lizard creatures. Maybe only like 3 feet tall, but they're on two legs with looks like sharp claws and teeth, and there's a few of them sort of clustered. And then you also in the trees see a couple of flying reptile creatures, pteranodons, and they're kind of nearby.
Steward, you're a human. Humans make fire. Can you make fire on that plant?
Oh yeah. Are you sure that you want to let it be known that we're here? Because I can make fire on that plant.
They're gonna know one way or the other, and I'd rather the plant be on fire.
I
I'm with
mean,
Wolf on this one.
hey, Roadrunner, did those little creature things, did they look like they were just grazing by the water, or were they like lookout for something bigger?
They were kind of just standing dazed, like the Stegosaurus was when you first came across it.
Glazed.
Nobody licked the plant.
So
And be burned.
if I don't look them in the eye, they won't attack us.
I don't think that's how it works.
As far as we know.
I mean, if you look at them in the eye, they'll definitely attack you, but I don't think it works in the other way. Are they something we've seen before?
What the animals?
Two-legged lizard things, the things talked about.
Yeah, you've seen a handful of them here and there as you've made your way through the jungle. They are they are real velociraptors. I say real because in Jurassic Park, the velociraptors that we imagine from the Jurassic Park movies are actually much bigger than sort of real velociraptors were. The real ones are only about 3 feet tall, but otherwise similar. Whereas there's actually another type of dinosaur that there's stats for that's more like what we think of the movie velociraptors, but these are the little ones. And so you get the sense that these things would mostly only be dangerous in a group.
Mean
Especially
turkeys,
you
not
guys.
ostriches.
Yeah.
How many were there?
Roadrunner saw like maybe 2 or 3, but that was only in a sort of quick look.
So they're not the source of this problem. They're just affected by it.
Right.
So we still got to find the. Do we maybe think that the source man is under the water?
I mean, I could go in there and take a look.
That might be an idea.
Water.
I don't think that's a good idea.
Amethyst,
Yeah.
make a perception check.
What does it say when I can't find my perception number? That's not very perceptive. Oh man, I haven't had to look for that for a minute. What is
I mean,
perception?
I could.
It's wisdom if it helps.
Oh yeah, wisdom. Okay.
Well, but she definitely has. This
Oh, that's right. I forgot. Yeah, she's not
She's
an
got
animal.
an actual
Yeah,
full.
that's right.
Perception.
Yeah, she's not an animal. Never mind.
So 21.
Okay. You, for a second, you didn't even notice it, but now you're pretty sure that even just in the few minutes since you guys have been kind of sitting here talking about it, you feel like these vines that are running around the perimeter of the pond have spread out to cover like maybe another couple of feet worth of the perimeter of this pond, like it's encircling the pond. And you realize as you notice that you're feeling a little bit of the thrum from your hip, the
Oh.
the thing.
Oh shit.
Something you want to tell us there, Stuart?
So, guys, long story short, this could be part of a bigger problem on another plane, and we need to exercise a lot of caution because there may be a fissure that things that we don't expect are coming out of, which really explains what's happening here with this growth. It's growing as we speak and it's getting larger. So I think that we should just attack it and the critters around it will do what the critters around it will do.
So it's a big fish.
Yeah.
I
someone's
don't
fishing.
know. I don't know what it is yet. I just have a really good sign that it's going to be unpredictable and it's going to be bad.
So why don't you set the vines on fire, and then if the critters start attacking us, we'll deal with that and the demonic fishermen.
Or fish.
So the pond, Christiana, let's talk size.
Okay.
How big is it?
It's like 40 feet across, at roughly circular. A little uneven, but
Okay. So I've got, I'm trying to figure out how to make wall of fire work. It's a wall 60 feet long, 20 feet high, 20 feet, but it doesn't sound like it's big enough to enclose the pond and just like scorch all that stuff.
well, let's see, wall of fire. Because you can make it a circle, I think.
Right.
But a ringed wall up to 20 feet in diameter. So
20 feet.
basically, you can't do like a whole circle around the pond. But what I would say is you could make it be like halfway around, but to curve around the bank. So it would have a big chunk of this stuff in it, but not all of it.
And there was one particular plant, wasn't there?
It looks like a dense mesh of all of these same sorts of vines with the yellow flowers on them.
Okay.
Well, that's a good
So I wanna-
start.
Gotta get it by the roots.
Yeah.
And yeah, and especially now that you're kind of putting these pieces all together, yeah, this plant is definitely not. It doesn't belong here. It's from somewhere else, somewhere bad.
Okay, I'm
It's
gonna
like it's disguised.
Okay. I'm gonna throw a wall of fire at it. I'm gonna do a circle around where all the I hope are the. I'm sure the yellow flowers aren't all condensed in one place, but I want to get like where I think it's concentrated the most.
Sure. Yeah. So basically, you are encompassing a big chunk of this stuff and curving it around the pond, but not getting all of it.
Right.
And the vines are going to make a dexterity saving throw. And
I have no idea.
they get a 16. So your wall of fire,
Rude.
they can make a dexterity. Targets can make a dexterity saving throw, to take half damage. So
Okay.
go ahead and roll your damage.
Oh, that's not. That would have been a bad. That was not. That wasn't an 8. That was a 12. That would have distorted.
So 5
Let me make sure they're all d8s. Sorry.
That's right.
So it's 46. Wait, do I add? Yeah, 46 total.
No, it should be 5d8. Wall of fire.
Oh shit! I'm sorry. I did 8d8. Well, that's
No.
not right. Okay, so it was
Yeah.
28 and
Yeah.
one more. Okay, so
Unless you cast it at a higher level or something.
34.
But if you cast it
Yeah, I'm casting it at a higher level. That's exactly what I'm doing.
Okay, well, so if you cast it, what level are you casting it at?
5th level. I'll cast it at 5th
fifth
level.
level, then it should be 6d8.
Okay, so that's 28. 36.
Okay.
So half of that.
Yeah, so basically, all of you watch as soon as this wall of fire erupts, a lot of the vines lurch out of the way, away from the water, and move far quicker than you would expect plants to move, but very obviously reacting to get away from the fire. And so a lot of it is still burned. The fire remains because of the spell. It keeps that fire in place. But you can see the vines moving far quicker than you expected, and now we're rolling initiative.
17.
19.
All right.
21. Oh, I'm sorry.
Amethyst was 21.
21.
Okay. Hair?
I've seen a lot of plants, but I've never seen them do that before. This is fascinating. 7.
7. Okay. Crocodile?
3.
3.
Crocodiles in the water.
Roadrunner?
23.
23.
Nice.
He's already there and back.
Again.
Okay, 1. And then what was yours, Amethyst?
21.
Oh, yeah, I got that. Okay. Yeah, so you guys, Roadrunner, you are sort of first to respond that you see this thing lurching away, moving far quicker than plants and vines growing naturally should. And what are you doing?
I'm kind of a one-trick pony. I'm gonna swoop in
Okay.
and bite at it.
All right.
Bite and talon at it.
As soon as you get within 30 feet of it, I need you to make a wisdom saving throw.
Oh dear.
17.
17 is a failure, and so you feel again this a similar buzzing in your head to when you were poisoned before, and so it's just a little bit of staticky, and it means that you're gonna have disadvantage on your attack rolls.
All right.
At the moment, it's just for this turn.
So first one would be a 9.
That misses.
12.
12 misses also. So these vines are squirming and writhing away from you.
Run back out of range.
All right, back outside of the 30 feet.
Yeah.
Yeah. So once you get that far away, you feel that sort of buzzing fade. Okay. You all hear the flapping of leathery wings taking flight as 3 pteranodons rise up into the air from the tree line and start to swoop down at you. So I think Roadrunner, you're getting 1, Owlbear 1, and Crocodile 1. As these things are swooping down at you. So I think I said, who did I say? Roadrunner and Crocodile and
Owlbear.
Owlbear. Okay, so it's only a 9 to you, Owlbear.
What's a miss? Yeah.
Yeah. It's a 12 to you, Roadrunner, which I'm pretty sure misses. And then Crocodile, that's only a 7. They all rolled pretty low, so they kind of swoop at you and don't connect, but then swoop up back into the air away from you. All right. And then now, Amethyst, your turn. Your wall of fire is you're currently maintaining concentration on it, but you can already see these vines moving to move away from it.
I'm gonna cast. So it's moving. Is it like one big thing, or does it seem like a bunch of different separate things? Can I tell?
It seems like an enormous tangle of vines that are moving kind of as one.
Okay. Then I'm going to cast Blight
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to cast it at level 6.
Okay.
So, let's see.
Light
Constitution saving throw.
It makes a Constitution saving throw. Okay. It's you're getting a sense, even as you sort of reaching out to connect with it, that
yeah.
You detect a couple of things. It gets a 24 on its Constitution saving throw. So you detect a couple of things as you sort of reach out with your magic. One is that this thing's actually not a plant at all. It's just disguised as a plant. And second, it's very good at Constitution. But it does still take half damage. So you rolled at level 6, which would be 10d8. So it's still a very powerful spell that you cast on it. Enhanced, but it's not. It didn't have disadvantage on the. So normally this spell would be like extra deadly to plants, but what you realize as it connects is that it's not really a plant at all.
It's not a plant, guys.
No, it's a polymorph demon fisherman.
I knew it wasn't a plant because no carrot looks like that.
That's the way you tell.
So that was 53.
Okay, 53.
So that was 53.
Okay, and so it does take half of that, but that's still 26 damage. All right. You hear sort of a squealing, sort of squirming, screaming sound emerge from it as a big sort of chunk of this vine just sort of like withers and dries up and turns black and slimy.
I'd like to. What I'm able to move away or disengage or something like that.
Right now, Blight has a 30-foot range, so I'm
Okay.
imagining you were basically right at the outside of this sort of
Yup.
area of effect it has.
Got it. Yep.
But you also recognize that if it moved any closer to you, you would be within that range, that 30 foot. Okay,
Okay.
so if are you staying at that 30 feet?
Yeah, I'm gonna stay where I'm at. I assume I'm near everybody else, so I'm just gonna
Yeah.
stay in the
Okay.
pile.
All right. Owlbear, you're up.
All right. What are the little lizard creatures doing on the other side of the pond?
Right now, you see them starting to sort of emerge from the brush, like they're going to rush at you.
Okay, but they're on the other side, right?
Right now, yeah.
Okay. So can I start making my way around? Like my speed is 40 feet. So can I move 40 feet around to go kind of cut them off as they come around?
Yeah.
Okay. So I will just do that. Actually, I will use my action I will dash and move 80 feet.
Okay.
So
To
yeah,
to
that's what I will do.
basically, you're trying to like get up to sort of block them from coming any closer to everyone else.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
All right. Okay. Wolf, you're up.
Wolf.
Starla / Wolf.
Yeah, sorry, not paying attention. Okay. Am I within 60 feet of people? Like, who would be within that radius?
I think Owlbear is the only one that's not anymore.
Okay.
He moved all the way around to go after the.
How far away are those the velociraptors?
They're going to be like 80 feet away. Around where Owlbear is. The pteranodons are kind of circling overhead, and I'll assume that the rest of you are more around 30 feet from the side of this pond.
Okay. I would like, because I have a speed of 50 feet, so if I could position myself to be kind of in the middle where there's a 60-foot radius, that might get as many as possible.
Okay.
All right. And then I am going to unleash my blood-curdling howl. Ow! That's
Okay.
terrible.
All right. So that is going to be a wisdom saving throw from the 3 velociraptors and the 3 pteranodons. So
What about the vines? Do they have sentience enough to?
The vines are immune to frightened.
Ooh, interesting.
All right. That's an 11, an 8, and a 20 for the velociraptors. So I think 2 of the 3 are frightened. The third is not. And then the pteranodons. What's their? Okay, that's an 18, an 11, and 5. So same deal. 2 of the 3 are frightened.
Okay.
And, okay. So that is Wolf's turn. It is the Velociraptor's turn now. So they're going to attack you, Owlbear, having come up on them. 2 of them are at disadvantage because they're within sight of what they're afraid of right now.
Okay.
But the third is regular. So they have pack tactics. And so technically the ones that are at disadvantage are getting a regular roll, and the one that's not frightened has advantage.
Okay.
All right. So the one that is getting advantage tries to bite you first and gets actually a 22.
Yep.
And then claws, and that's a 16.
That hits.
Okay, so both of those hit, and it's going to be it's 9 damage total of slashing damage from that one. And then the others are doing the same to bite and claw. So that's a 20, not crit.
Okay.
Oh wait, sorry. Well, okay. I was roll. I that was the. Okay, the other one rolled. Okay, two straight roll, two attacks. It gets a 20. That's not a crit, and then it gets an actual crit.
Of course. Okay.
So it was the other bite attack is 7 piercing damage,
Yeah.
and then 6 slashing damage from the claws.
Okay.
And then the third one, bite attack is. Wow, it's getting a lot of high rolls. This is 23. These are all like just high. It's just rolling high right now.
Okay.
And that's another 8 piercing damage,
Okay.
and then it misses with the claws.
Okay.
And so none of those individual attacks are that hard, but when you're all by yourself with them ganging up on you, that's kind of what they do.
All right. So that was 30 points of damage total. All right.
All right.
All right.
Now,
Okay.
We still have that +2 to our Constitution modifier, right? From that paste or that thing that I
That's
made?
against so +2 to Constitution saving throws against poison.
Poison. Got it.
Yeah. No poison effect from the Velociraptor attacks.
Right.
So they do seem like they're sort of still like sick, but no actual mechanical poison effect here. Okay, so it is this thing's turn, the vines now, and you can see that it starts moving away from the water towards you guys, and as it comes within 30 feet, you do all sort of feel like this sort of awful sort of buzzing in your head, and it's comes within 15 feet of you, and it makes 3 like these vines whip out like tentacles, and it's making 3 attacks, one against wolf, one against hare, and one against crocodile.
Okay.
So against wolf, that's a 21 to hit,
Yep.
and 14 acid damage as it, slaps slime all over you. Against hare, that is just an 11 to hit.
So are there multiples of these tentacles considered
Yeah.
multiple targets?
Yeah, so like 3 different tentacle like vines whip out, and it
Okay.
makes
Then I
3
do
attacks.
a fancy kind of roll, and I allow that tentacle to hit one of the other tentacles. I use
Okay,
one
yeah.
of my 3 per day.
Yeah, that works. It so as you duck out of the way, it literally whips all the way around and hits one of the other tentacles, and does. It is resistant to its own acid, but not immune. So. It does 9 acid damage to itself.
Better it than me.
Yeah. And then the one attacking crocodile gets 15.
That hits.
Okay. Okay, and that's 15 acid damage. Alright. That's its turn. You're up here.
I'm in fighting stance now.
Make a wisdom saving throw.
That is a 20 total.
That's a success. You're able to block out this buzzing in your head.
Not in my head. And I'm going to kick it.
Alright.
Kick the vine. Vine kick. That's a 15 to hit.
15 to hit. Does not hit. You find that the vines just sort of part, and your kick goes between them.
You're supposed to move when I want you to move, not when you. So I'm back with Amethyst, right? And then there's Wolf in sort of the middle pack, and then there's the.
And then Owlbear was further away. Yeah.
Okay, and Owlbear is still by themselves.
Yeah, Owlbear was off all by himself with the Velociraptors all over him.
Okay. Don't worry, Owlbear. I'll be there quickly. And I'm gonna run off. We'll move off towards Owlbear.
Okay.
And I'm gonna use my bonus action to dash, so I should be
Alright.
beside Owlbear
You
now.
do get an opportunity attack from the vines.
They're everywhere anyway, so.
Yeah. Oh, but that is just a 13 to hit, which I think misses you.
I dodge and it hits itself again.
Yeah.
Stop hitting yourself. No, wait, keep doing that.
Yeah. So that's eight. That's another 8 acid damage to itself.
Hi, Hair.
Are you ready?
Yeah,
Who are these
let's-
guys?
Put up your dukes. Put up your dukes.
All right, that's
always
Hare's turn.
happen.
Crocodile, you're up. Make a wisdom saving throw now that this thing has moved closer to you.
That's a 6.
It's a 6. So not only is this buzzing kind of just really start to get in your head and confuse you, roll a d10.
4.
A 4. You are unable to really do anything. You just kind of just stare into space.
Okay.
All right. That's Crocodile's turn. Roadrunner, you are up again.
All right.
And if you're kind of with the others, then you're making a wisdom saving throw of your own.
Yeah. Ten.
10.
Oh.
That also, I need you to roll a d10.
Oh. 2.
2. Like Crocodile, you find yourself just kind of staring into space. And those of you who are kind of observing this are probably going like, oh, that, like the dinosaurs, right?
No, I was looking up a thing. Can you
I
repeat
know.
that last part? I'm sorry.
Okay. I just
I'm
meant
going-
that you are finding that this thing exudes an energy that can just cause your brain to static out and just stand there. And I was saying, like some of those dinosaurs that were doing that. That's all I said. Okay, so Roadrunner's turn. It is the Pteranodons, and they're going to try to swoop at you again. And I think that they are going, this time, going to get one against Hare, one against you, Amethyst, and then one against Wolf. So first against Hare, that's only an 11.
He's going to hit one of the velociraptors instead.
Yeah, okay. And that does 2d4 plus 1. That's 8. As you duck aside and sort of manage to, alley-oop it into one of the velociraptors, it crashes into it and deals one of the velociraptors a pretty severe wound.
Oof.
And then the one swooping against Wolf gets just an 11.
Nope.
And then against you, Amethyst. That one gets a 20. Not crit, but
Ooh.
regular 20.
Okay, yeah.
But only does... Where's my other d4? It does 6 piercing damage.
Okay.
All right.
I'm trying to find my bracers of the thorn. Would they do a reaction?
Yes.
Am I close enough?
Mhm.
Okay. I'm trying to find them, but I can't find what they do. I'm not finding them in my D&D thing.
Oh,
D&D
okay.
Beyond. They were here, but I don't know. Like stuff's changed since the last time I was here, and I don't know where to find it.
Okay. I can. You know what? Let me. I
was
can
just
pull that up.
in
Hang on. I can do it for you. I got you.
It just D&D Beyond is kind of rude because I did a search and it didn't find it. It said that I failed my investigation.
I know.
check.
Hang on.
That's rude.
I know. I've got you covered. I'm looking it up for you. Don't worry about
I
it.
just think it's funny. I thought it was a funny reaction, a
Oh,
funny message.
Yeah. So basically, when an enemy hits you with a melee attack, you can use your reaction to exude spectral thorns, which do 2d6 magical piercing damage. And so basically, roll 2d6.
So that would be 7.
All right. Yeah. So
Thank you.
as it swoops you and drags its talons across you, you exude these thorns, and it takes its own damage in reprisal.
Cool. Thank you.
All right.
2
It is now your turn.
So I'm going to, yeah, that's what I was trying to look up, was the, I want to summon,
Does she need to make her saving throw?
Yes. That's a good.
Oh.
One. Yes. You need to make a wisdom saving throw.
Sorry.
No, thank you.
18, I don't know if I had +2, but I got an 18 without it.
18 is a success.
Okay.
So you are able to shrug past this this effect that it's trying to get into your head.
Okay. I'm not really sure what to do at this point.
Well,
so
it's definitely two of your companions are just staring into space. A couple of your owlbear buddies getting torn up by velociraptors.
So I'm going to cast, I'm going to cast Conjure Animals, and I'm trying to figure out exactly what I'm summoning, because that's the part I was looking up. Let me, 1 second. Sorry, guys.
That's all right.
Okay. Maybe we should just try and talk to these things.
No, I'm pissed.
I mean, you're a druid, right? Can't you speak with plants? Isn't that one of your things?
I don't think it's a plant. Can I do an investigation and see if I can see any sign of the purple Fisher Trail or anything like that, Christiana?
It would be perception, but you can do that, yeah.
Oh, natural 20.
Oh, yeah. So you can see under the water. It looks like a small one, but it's there. It looks like it's maybe 45 feet away, about 3 feet under the surface of the water of this pond. But it's definitely there.
Do I see anything between me and it, other than the water?
this giant vine monster is kind of right in between you and it.
So I'm gonna, okay. I'm gonna summon, a parliament of owls. I'm gonna summon 4 giant owls.
All right. Go ahead and roll
With Conjure
initiative
Animals.
for those giant owls.
That would be 15.
Okay. Owls,
And then
15.
With my bonus action, I would like to wild shape into a... Ooh. This is what I wanted to do before. It's called a Quipper, Q-U-I-P-P-R.
A quipper, you can do a quipper. I will absolutely let you do a quipper, but they're not very big.
But they're fast, right? I think
It's
they're
a
one of the
fish.
faster fish.
You're not in the water right now. You're like
Oh, right.
30 feet from the water
Oh,
with
shit.
a
Yeah,
vine
let me not
monster
do
in
that.
between you. So, I mean...
I'm going
There's
to...
a quipper just flopping on the jungle ground floor.
I'd be like a Magikarp. No. Yeah,
Someone throw in the water.
let me just hold my form until the next round then.
Okay, are you trying to move closer? I mean, because this vine monster is between you and the water.
I'm gonna stay where I'm at now. I'm still like 30 feet from the vine monster, right?
No, it moved closer to you, so
Okay.
you're about 15 feet.
Okay, then I'm just gonna stay where I'm at.
All right. That is Amethyst's turn. Owlbear, you're up.
All right, I
Got
will.
these crummy little lizard things all over you.
Yeah, I will attack I will attack the one that is not frightened.
Okay.
So 2 attacks. First one with my beak. That's going to be a 16.
That hits.
That hits? Alright,
Yep.
so that's going to be 9, 10, 11, 16 points of damage. Piercing damage.
Chomp it. You basically break its neck with your beak. Just one hit.
Sweet.
Nice.
Alright, then I'll turn and make a claw attack at one that's frightened.
All right.
Alright, so is that with advantage?
Why would it be with it? No.
Because
no.
it's frightened?
Right. No.
Okay.
Its attacks are at disadvantage, but
Gotcha. Alright, so 14.
14 does hit.
Oh, it does hit.
Yep.
Okay. So that's going to be 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, 14. 19 points of slashing damage.
Yeah, you tear that one to pieces.
Nice. So feed that, Seymour.
Good job out there. I'm glad I was here to help.
Thanks, Hare.
Wolf, you're up. Make another wisdom saving throw.
Yep.
Why? That's a 3.
A 3. Roll a d10 for me.
Great. And this one. It's an 8.
An 8. You just in like utter confusion, you sort of wildly make a bite attack against the nearest creature to you, which turns out it's actually because you had moved away. There's no, you know what? There actually I think there's nothing within your immediate melee range.
You just chase my tail for a little bit.
Yeah. So you basically the rest of you watch Wolf basically snapping at nothing.
I want what she's smoking.
You don't want what I've got.
Puppy!
All right. Amethyst, your owls, when you conjured them, where did you conjure them? Where did they appear?
Over the mass. I would have had them like surrounding like the mass that's between me and the water.
Okay, within 30 feet?
I mean, yeah.
Okay. They need to make a each of them make a wisdom saving throw.
Ooh, Ron rolled a 1. Let's see. I don't know. Let me pull up the giant. I didn't look to see what the +1s on that stuff is yet. But it's a natural 1, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And so Hermione rolls a 3.
I was hoping you were going to say that.
Harry rolled a 20 natural.
Okay.
And
They
Jenny
get a
rolled a
+1.
3. +1. Okay,
Yeah.
so.
So 3 of them fail.
Mm-hmm.
And
Wait, did Hermione pass her owls?
Apparently not.
So roll 3d10 for me, and then give me the individual results, not the total.
4, 0, and 0.
All right. So the 2 that rolled 0 actually can move and act normally. They are still at disadvantage with their attacks against the vine creature, but they can still take their turn.
Okay.
The one that succeeded gets no effect at all, so attacks without disadvantage. And then the 4, that one just kind of actually, it just sort of gets a spacey look, and then it actually kind of just sort of, like it doesn't crash, but it does just kind of land and then just kind of stand there. So 3 of them can attack, but 2 of them are at disadvantage.
Okay. Got it.
So it is their turn now.
Okay. But only 2 of the 4 can attack. Okay.
No, 3 of them can attack. 2 of those are at disadvantage. So they
2 of the attacks are. I got it. Okay.
Yeah. So 1 regular attack, 2 at disadvantage.
Okay. I know there's a. Sorry, guys. The brain is slowing. So that is a 14.
A 14.
With a +3. Wait, no. What am I rolling? Am I rolling an attack, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so Talon's melee weapon attack.
Mhm.
So that was a 17.
17 hits.
So that's 10 points of damage.
All right. It swoops and claws and pulls out, a couple of talonfuls of vines.
And then the second one is an 18 plus 3, so 21.
Was that with disadvantage?
No.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's a 14.
Okay, 14 misses. And then
Okay.
one more with disadvantage.
11.
11, that one also misses.
Okay.
Okay. That's the owls. It is the one remaining Velociraptor's turn. Owlbear. It no longer has advantage, but it is going to make its attacks against you. First, the bite is an 18. And that's 8 piercing damage. And then with the claws, that's only a 7. So that misses. Alright. Now it is this thing's, the vine monster's turn again. I'm going to start calling it an alkylith, because that's what it's called.
Okay.
So the alkylith is going to make 3 more tentacle attacks. First against Wolf. And that's a 27 to hit.
Yep.
That is... that's 20 acid damage. And then I think one against Roadrunner. But that's critical miss. That's a 1. And then one against Crocodile. And that is 17.
That hits.
All right. $13 acid damage. All right. That is the alkylith's turn. Okay, Hare, you're up. There's one more of these velociraptors.
All right.
Get him, Hare, get him.
I'm gonna imagine it's some sort of master martial arts sweep around and kick. It'd probably just turn around and back kick. But that's a 27 to hit.
That hits.
Ooh, I get to roll a damage dice. 6 points of damage.
6 points of damage. It is. Wait. I'm trying to remember. Yeah. Okay. No, that kills it because of this was the one that was damaged by the pteranodon earlier. So you finish off that one.
All right, time to go back.
All right.
And I will use my move action and then use my bonus to dash.
Okay. All right. So you're getting back up near it.
Back where, by Amethyst.
Okay. All right. And then there are still all 3 pteranodons kind of circling in the air at the moment. One of which is injured. Okay, that's your turn. Crocodile, you're up. Wisdom saving throw. See in the
That's
chat
a 6.
Man, F these wisdom saving throws all to heck.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
So that's a 6.
This demon fungus has an ability called Foment Madness. So a 6, I need another D10 roll.
That's a 3.
3 is the same reaction as just kind of, static. Signal not found. All right. That brings us back up to Roadrunner. And so,
All right.
wisdom saving throw.
Oh, yeah. 16.
16 is it's not a total success, but you're able to still make your attacks with disadvantage and otherwise act. So you're a little fuzzy, but not totally spaced out.
I basically want to fly up away from it and
Okay.
attack one of the pterodons.
It's going to get an opportunity attack against you as you try to fly away from it.
I like the description of tenderloinodon, though. That's pretty good.
It gets a 20 not crit to hit. So that's as you attempt to fly away from it, you're able to get into the sky, but you feel the burning of 17 acid damage, singeing your feathers. But you can go ahead and make your attack against one of the pteranodons. There's one that's a little injured already, and 2 that are not.
Yeah, the one that's already injured.
All right.
For sure. Disadvantage, right?
Yes.
That's my man with the bow super low.
Okay.
11.
Only need 11 misses.
Okay. And I'll try a second. 12.
12 does miss also. Almost there. That one was really close. But you also now are outside of this radius, so you feel like, starting up further away. Starla's putting stickers on herself. Okay. That's your turn, Roadrunner. It is the Pteranodon's turn now, and I think the 3 of them, sensing you intruding into their territory, are all going to try to dive at you. So that's 3 attacks against you. That's a 14.
Miss.
A 19.
Hit.
And a 20 not natural. So that's going to be, say, 2d4 plus 1 each. I keep losing my second d4. Okay. That's 7 piercing damage from one, and then just 4 piercing damage from the other.
Alright.
Alright. Amethyst, it's you again, but we need another wisdom saving throw.
Natural 20.
Nice. I think with this, with the natural 20, you sense this thing's presence. You sort of get what it's doing now, and you're able to tune it out completely. You won't have to keep making saving throws for that.
Yay.
You're able to resist it now. So, your turn.
Okay, so I would like to wild shape into a water elemental.
Okay, nice. All of you watch as her body starts to get translucent and then lose some of its definition, and then it's just a big sort of mound of water with big, enormous arms and an angry sort of brow, but not much else in obvious facial features.
Is there anything between me and the edge of the water?
The vine monster still there.
Okay,
You didn't
good. So I want to, because I want to head towards the water, but I want to get it while I'm heading towards the water.
Okay, yeah.
And I want to do a multi-attack.
Okay, go for it.
Natural 20.
Right.
I don't know what to say, guys.
Hey, no,
I'm
hey.
so happy. I'm like, I don't know if I should point the camera at it. I'm afraid to move anything.
I trust you. I trust you. So go ahead and roll, double the dice. So whatever the normal slam attack would be, however many dice it says, just roll twice that many.
Okay. $19.
19, okay.
So it says that the elemental can grapple, but is that like something that would have taken my turn? Or can I do that as a bonus action? I can't see where it says that.
Let me pull it up real quick. I think, let's see,
It seems like it would be an extra action.
I feel like so you can do multi-attack, which is 2 slam attacks and no grappling. You also have an attack called Whelm, which is separate from the slam attacks, and then and that what you would do with that is like move into its space and like occupy it. but
Yeah.
this thing is actually too big to be grappled in that way.
Okay. Then I'm just gonna
yeah.
do the attacks and try to keep moving towards the water.
Yeah, so go ahead and make your second slam attack.
So that is 14.
Okay. A 14 misses,
Okay.
but due to your watery form, you are able to kind of move through and past the vine thing to get to the pond, if you want.
Cool. Yes, I would like to do that.
All right. So you get to the water.
Yes, please.
All right. So I'll say you can basically reach the side of the pond on this turn.
Okay.
All right. Okay, that's Amethyst's turn. Owlbear.
All right. Is there vines or plants on this side of the pond where I was with the velociraptors?
None in your immediate vicinity.
Okay.
But if you use your movement speed, you can you could get to melee range of like one end of this thing. If
No,
you
I
use
don't.
your
I don't
full
want to
movement.
do that.
Yeah. Okay.
I want to. I'm an owlbear.
Mm-hmm.
I've never seen anything like this.
It's
I don't know
messed
how.
up, yeah.
I don't know how to close a fisherman. So I'm gonna dart towards the water and start swimming towards the fisher to try and hit it.
Okay.
So I don't know how far out it is or anything like that. But
I think that you can get just about to it with your movement speed since you're going straight into the water.
yeah.
But so what you're seeing is beneath, like this glowing purple light is beneath the surface of the water. Are you going to try to dive in to get to it?
Yeah, sure. Why not?
All right. So first, make an athletics check for me,
Athletics. All right, I will do that.
which is strength.
Strength. That should be. I'm pretty good at strength. 19 plus 5, so 24.
Yeah. Okay. So and now make an attack with disadvantage because you're underwater.
Yeah, that's fair. All right, so let's see. So 15 with my beak.
Okay. What you experience is very unpleasant as you go to bite out towards it. For just a moment, your head is just filled with visions of horrific alien creatures and desolate wastelands and bizarre geography that doesn't look like it should even work, and your brain is suddenly filled with these very unpleasant visions, and then you are underwater struggling to breathe.
Okay, so I don't have any more movement to like. How far down was this thing?
It was only a few feet down. So I'll basically let you surface, but essentially you are surfacing with a
waiting.
coughing spit.
Oh, ba-dang.
Yeah,
Okay.
so no actual damage or anything, but yeah, you get the feeling that was not a good experience.
All right, that's my turn.
All right, Wolf, you're up. Wisdom saving throw, please.
Yeah.
Roll a natural 20. That worked great for me.
Okay. I didn't get a natural 20, but I did get a, what is it, a +1? Is, yes, so a 17 that time.
17 is not a complete success, but it just means that, you're a little fuzzy. You can still attack with disadvantage.
Okay. Are there people within 5 feet of it, or is it still 15 feet out?
Well,
there
no,
are?
actually, no. No, there's not.
Because then that would have canceled it out. All right.
Oh,
All right.
I thought she was trying to hit us. It's so near us.
No, because I have advantage if I have an ally within 5 feet of the
Gotcha.
thing. So, okay. So yeah, a +8 to hit. Okay. Let's see. And that is a 19 on that one.
A 19 hits? Oh, also, but
No, I have to roll disadvantage. 19 again.
All right, 19 hits.
Sweet.
All right. And that's also a +8. So okay, doesn't matter. 4d6 plus 3.
All right.
Okay, come back. Does this a creature count as huge or smaller?
It's huge.
Okay. So
But it's also like a vine monster, so the prone really doesn't mean anything
Yeah.
for this.
okay.
It's already kind of snake-like in shape. It's like a snake with a bunch of tentacles coming out of it.
Okay, so that is 17 damage.
All right.
It's supposed to make a strength throw or be knocked prone, but
Yeah, but it like prone doesn't mean anything for this thing.
yeah.
All right, but
I hit something.
You sure did. All right, it's the owl's
I
turn
knew you
again.
could.
The owl's turn again, and once again they each need to make a wisdom saving throw. And so it is a +1 for them.
So, am I rolling for them individually, or?
Yeah.
Okay, so the first one's an 8.
Fail.
Second one's a 7.
Fail.
Third's a 15. And a 3.
Okay, so 3 of them, once again, roll 3d10 and tell me the individual results.
Four,
Okay.
0, and 6.
Okay, 2 of them just kind of sort of sail to a landing and then just stand there. One of them can attack normally, and then the other with disadvantage.
Okay.
So one regular attack, one with disadvantage. And so they are they attacking the Alkalith, or there's still Pteranodons up around with Roadrunner in the sky?
They're going to go for the vine monster. I can't pronounce it.
Alkalith.
Oculus. Okay.
Yep. It's a weird word. It's a made-up word. It doesn't
Yeah.
mean anything, so like.
So, the Talon melee weapon attack for the first one is 9.
9 misses.
And then the one with disadvantage is 7.
Yeah, unfortunately, the vines writhe out of the way of its attack.
Cool.
Okay, the Velociraptors are all dead, so no more turn for them. So it is the Alkalith's turn again now, and I think it's actually going to start swatting at all your owls.
Makes sense. That's kind of why I brought them to the
So
party.
it's going to use its 3 tentacles to do that. They seem like easy targets. So it's going to make... that's a critical miss for the first attack, so I guess that one misses. And then it rolls a 3, which is still an 11, but that misses the giant owl, I think. Yeah. So, low rolls for this time. Yeah. And then that one's a little better. That's a 16. So, one of your owls takes... 16 acid damage.
Oof. Sorry, Ron.
All right. Which looks like that one is very hurt, but not completely dead.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Then that's the Alkalith's turn. Hare, you're up. So I think you had moved back into range, or no? Yeah. So
but I think I was still like 15 feet away from the thing, right? But
30 feet is the range of this effect that it has.
Yeah.
So make your wisdom saving throw.
Ooh, that's only a 13.
A 13 is just high enough that you only have sort of the minor effect, which is your attacks are at disadvantage, but no other effect.
So I will close the distance with it then. Kind of like, and then kick it.
Okay.
That is a 19 with a disadvantage.
A 19 does hit.
Woot. Power kick. That's 13 points of bludgeoning damage.
Okay.
Now, the interesting question is whether it counts as a single entity.
It does.
Come on at me then. I'll use my taunt ability.
Okay.
So that's to make a wisdom saving throw.
Okay.
Hit him.
Wisdom saving throw is not this thing's best.
Difficulty 18.
Yeah, it gets a 6.
Cool. It's now charmed. So it's at disadvantage to attack anyone but me.
All right. We'll see how much you appreciate that.
How long that lasts.
Yeah. When on its next turn. But yeah, so yes, it is currently focused only on hair.
Okay, and how far away from the water line is it?
It's about 15 feet.
Perfect. I will use my bonus action to disengage. The remaining 25 feet of my movement, I move to the water and dive in.
Okay. All right. Crocodile, it's your turn, and so another wisdom saving throw.
18.
18 is a success. No effect at all.
I can do something.
Yeah.
So the tentacles count, like they're all part of the same entity, but you can attack them separately.
No, it's really all one thing. The tentacles are sort of lashing out, but they're not considered separate things. I mean, you could... So, the thing is, these tentacles are really just vines extruding from the thing, so it's not like...
So I couldn't do my multi-attack? Like, I couldn't make an attack at one tentacle and then do the tail attack at the other?
You could do both of your attacks against the one creature. I'm just saying that it's not like you can kill a tentacle and have that tentacle be gone. It still would have 3 tentacle attacks.
Okay.
But you can do both of your attacks.
Okay. I'm going to do my bite attack.
Oh, wait. Are you asking, does the giant alligator, specifically say that it has to be a different creature or something like that?
It says that, so you can make 2 attacks, one with a bite and one with the tail. And you can't make a tail attack against a creature that you made a bite attack against if they're grappled.
Oh. So I would say if you choose to not try to grapple, then I will let you do both attacks.
Okay. Alright, so that's
bite
a natural
release,
1
and then do
on the bite attack.
Okay, well, so no worries then about that.
Yeah. And then with the tail attack, that's a 22.
That hits.
Okay, and that is 2d8 plus 5. 16.
All right. This thing is starting to look pretty injured. It's a lot threadier. It's a lot more uneven in its attacks. You notice that its size seems to be reducing because it's sort of like to replace the damaged vines. It's sort of bringing in the ones that were further out. So it's pretty hurt. Okay, Roadrunner, you're up. You got these pteranodons are all around you.
Still. So I will just attack the one that's closest to me.
All right.
Gotta take him out. Am I still affected?
No, when you flew up into the sky, you left the radius, so you're no wisdom saving throw.
Cool. 19. First attack comes as 19, second attack is 22. So
well, both of those are going to hit, so go ahead and make the first one.
15 points of damage.
Alright,
the
you killed that one.
Damaged.
Yep.
Tool. Flip to another one. That would have been 10 points of damage.
Alright. So you killed the one that was already wounded and dealt a severe wound to one of the others. And it's pretty hurt. Okay. And it's their turn, and they're both going to continue try to attack you. That's a 6 and an 11. So they're not able to connect with you this round. Okay, Amethyst, water elemental. You have reached the surface of this pond in your water elemental form. Oh, you're muted.
So I have a question. I'm going to swim for the fisher. I've got a swim speed of like 90 feet, and I think it's only a 5-foot pond, so it should be no trouble. But like in this form, the fisher that's in my hip, if I touch it, or do I know?
I think we've established in the past that you were able to do the seal the fishers even in your wild shape form.
Okay.
It's still sort of inherently tied to you.
So I huh?
Said you're very conductive.
Ooh, baby, thanks. So I'd like to swim towards it, and do I see anything near it or anything like that as I'm swimming
You
towards
see
it?
Owlbear, who had just tried to stick his face in it last time, and then surfaced. But he
Then
seems
I'm
he's doing okay. He's floating nearby.
okay, but he is above the water.
Yeah.
He's not like drowning.
He's floating at the surface. Yeah, he's okay.
So I'm gonna swim for it, and I'm gonna hip check it, and see if that closes it.
You swim up to touch it, and you do feel the energy of the fisher channeling through you, and it disappears.
Okay, well that's kind of good. I mean, that's good for this moment. It's not great for the other planes, but you know.
And it does cross your mind to remember that, wait, wasn't there a thing about we couldn't close them right now? But it worked. It's
Instinct
closed.
kicked in.
Yep. So the fisher has closed, but that's going to be your turn this time. Owlbear, you just saw a really strange ripple of water kind of zip through. You saw Amethyst water elemental form zipping and distorting the water, and then it kind of ducked underneath, and now that little glowing purple light beneath the surface is gone.
Yeah, man, I dig it. Are the vines? The vines are still there, though,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Okay. I guess I'll just then try and finish those off and swim to the shore and try and attack the vines.
All right. As you make it to shore, need a wisdom saving throw.
Wisdom saving throw. It's going to be a 19.
19 is the success. So
Excellent.
No effect.
All right, so one with my beak and one with my claw.
All right.
So with the beak, it's 19.
That hits.
So that's going to be 21 points of piercing damage.
All right. It is extremely wounded.
Nice. And then with the claw, that's going to be a 19 plus 10, so 29.
That hits too.
And that's going to be...
Tell me how you finish this thing off.
21 points of damage. So with my beak, I just pull as much as I can out so the roots are showing. And then with my claws, I will just grab the part out of my mouth and just shove it back, so I'm like force feeding the vine its own carcass.
Alright, so as you're tearing it to pieces and shoving it down itself, and you see it struggling to sort of maintain a coherent entity, but it's shuddering and can't quite hold together, and then finally it all kind of goes limp, and then you see a moment after it goes limp, it starts to just like dissolve and boil away into kind of just this like rotting slime, like it's just, it's decaying just in seconds.
And I just turn back to the rest of the group with like a look of smugness on my face.
I'm bobbing on top of the water. You're welcome.
All right. And so, all of you, now that, and as soon as this thing started, like, shuddered to stillness, any of you who had been within this range just feel like this static fade away, and it's completely gone now. And in fact, over the next minute or so, you realize all of the nearby places where you had seen these creeper vines with the yellow flowers, those are all starting to decay now too.
Yay!
Celebratory wolf howl. Which I'm not going to do because we've discovered that's a bad idea.
I'll do it.
Drop out of the sky.
So,
Yeah.
Amethyst, go ahead and make another nature check for me.
24.
Right.
Up 26.
Nice. So, with a little bit more time to sort of process everything, because it was all happening very fast before, you kind of recognize and sort of intuit that this thing was trying to completely encircle this pond, and that if it had been able to do that, the entire pond surface would have become a portal to the abyss. And so the fact that your wall of fire forced it to move away really made a big difference there.
Good job, Steward.
Yeah, you're okay.
Yeah, for a human.
Done
Is
good.
that what she is?
Yeah, she doesn't have two heads, so you don't know.
Thanks, you guys. I just can't tell you how grateful I am that I had you on this, because I certainly couldn't have handled it without you. So thank you for everything. And who needs heals?
I think
I'm all right.
with that, we'll go ahead and montage to you guys sort of, making sure you're all okay, and then getting ready to head back. And I think with that, we will call tonight's session to a close.
I didn't even get head scritches.
Head scritches were definitely included in the montage.
Well, hello, you're with the druid. You know I was scratching the mirrors if you'd let me.
Can you at least ride on my back on the way home?
I mean, try and stop me at this point. I'm not even asking. I'm already on your back, so that's okay.
All right, great job, you guys.
Yeah, that was fun.
That's fun.
Yeah.
So, as a funny little aside, real quick, about a month before I had to take my hiatus, Chooch and I were talking, and I said, you know what I would really love is I would love to play with the Melzers again, because we played together that one time like a year ago. And I was like, gosh, if I could put a team together, I would like boom, them. And then you guys join the show, and it's just like, So I'm so excited. I know I don't really know you that well, but I'm so excited to get to play with you guys again and watch all of the stuff you're doing in Christiana's world, because it's just so fun.
We are so happy to be here.
Mark.
Well, it's
We
so
miss
great
you.
to have you back, and we can't wait until we get you back every week.
I'm working on it. I'm working hard.
And so life intervenes sometimes, but we're so glad we were able to join for tonight, and I hope that it was a happy birthday episode and adventure for you, and got to catch up with what Amethyst was up to while everyone else is having a house drama in the Shadowfell.
Oh yeah.
The real world.
Yeah, so many bad decisions. It's great.
Oh, yeah.
So fun.
Right.
But it works out because I can't actually be here next week, so
Yeah. So what happens as Nero remains in the Shadowfell with Zoreth?
What happens in Shadowfell stays in Shadowfell.
But instead, we'll follow the rest of the heroes of legend plus Jinxie as they try to see what's going on in Ushbithra with the giant spirit of the Golden Plains. So we'll be back next week. So thanks everybody. Thank you for watching and listening, and we'll be back for more adventure on so many
Arg!
Arr.